From the rolling hills of England to the sand-swept pyramids of Egypt, to the rivers of Italy to the muck of a Florida prison, the Joestar bloodline has spanned time and space in manga and anime for over 30 years. Now it is up to Rosen Thorne,
Hey, I'm British over here, pip pip or whatever,
to take his compatriots, Smarty,
Over the last 12 hours, I have seen adventures so bizarre beyond your comprehension.
Hot Cocoa Rock,
Was ist das? The Pillermann is a vampire! Mein Leben!
Nellie Belle,
Soon may the Pillarmen come.
and LAF, through the series of bizarre adventures on the RoTho JoJo ShowShow. Episode 10, New York's JoJo. We all turn to Jay.
Yeah.
For Coco
Yeah.
and Ariel. Jay's from New York.
Yes.
Ah.
Don't you dare say, if any of you try and come at me for
I got my
where
joke
the best
out during-
pizza or bacon, egg, and cheeses are, don't even fight me.
I'm
gonna
married to
argue
New
on
Yorker.
that.
What the fuck do you think I'm gonna do?
There you go.
We open on, oh hey, Speedwagon's back. And he's an oil tycoon now. Damn, Strayzo did not age much.
Strayzo is an asshole.
Yes.
I would like to put that, an asshole.
Yes.
I think that's the broadest statement I've ever made about this show.
No, I think that's accurate.
It is, but I'm just saying it's a broad fucking statement of no shit.
Coco, Ariel, what do you think of seeing Speedwagon and Strayzo again?
I personally was surprised pleasantly because I always really liked Speedwagon as a character.
Yeah.
But also like, I don't know. I think seeing Speedwagon and Strayzo again, was in a way emblematic of something that I enjoyed a lot more about Part 2, which is that like it still had connections to Part 1, which I honestly wasn't expecting.
Yeah, every part has connections to at least one previous part.
Sure, like
That's
I mean, I don't mind me giving a slight spoiler because I did watch a while back before this podcast was going to happen. I watched a little bit of Part 6.
There's a big
and there's a massive connection there, and I was shocked when he showed up. And that's as far as I'll get into it. But
yeah, Ariel. Sorry, Coco.
Honestly?
No, yeah, that was basically all I had to say for now.
Go ahead, Ariel.
Basically, for me, with Speedwagon, it was so strange seeing him old. And to me, he kind of looked like, you know how Yugi's grandpa was an archaeologist and everything and had that one friend?
Yeah.
That was... He looks a lot like Yugi's grandpa's friend.
Well, friend. They were
I mean...
Eli, his boyfriend, Ariel, you can say it.
Okay, well, yeah. It's basically like, he's the archaeologist's boyfriend in 2 different anime that in looks. That makes me wonder about a strange crossover there.
I mean, I actually have a Yu-Gi-Oh connection later
Oh,
that I completely pulled out of my ass, but I'm guessing it's a reference. So apparently Speedwagon and Strayzo are the same age here. Hamon's a hell of
That's
a
honestly
hero.
very funny.
Yeah. So Strayzo took over the Hamon school after Tom Petty presumably died off screen. We never find out. He and Speedwagon are off to Mexico. It's a secret to everybody. So this is one of the parts that takes place not in one location, but over several countries. Got America and Mexico so far. Oh fuck, that's a lot of stone masks. Oh fuck, that's a giant dude. One stone mask was the entire problem in Part 1. Now here's just a cave of them and a giant guy.
yeah, I mean, it's just like, why? Why did there have to be so many?
We will find out why.
I felt pretty similarly with like. Have any of you seen like the revival of Doctor Who?
Bits and pieces.
Yes.
In like the first season, like one Dalek shows up and everyone's like, "Oh crap, this is like the scariest thing. Even one Dalek is enough to kill everyone." And like that was a whole like several episodes were like dedicated to that. And then like every season finale from that point forward, they were just like, "Now there's 1 billion of them," and it's like, "Oh okay."
It's a good way to establish shit getting real.
It is. I just hope that they don't overdo it like Doctor Who did.
Well, I have good news. After part 2, the Stone Mask vampires are gone.
Yay.
Yeah, so since Jonathan died, it's been 50 fucking years. We're now in New York, 1938. World War II is yet to fully start. The Great Depression is chugging along, and presumably the Long Island Express is yet to hit the city. I didn't have any good 1938 New York jokes, because apparently the only thing that happened in New York in 1938 was the Long Island Express hurricane. We meet one of our supporting characters, Smokey, played by Robbie Daymond, who was Fushiguro in Jujutsu Kaisen, Kozuki Oden in One Piece, Tuxedo Mask in Sailor Moon, Ron Izumi in Durarara, Raymond in OKKO.
I gotta ask, which version of Tuxedo Mask are we talking?
Viz.
Okay.
If it was the Deke one, I would have said the Deke one.
Okay.
Crollo Lucifer in Hunter x Hunter, Prompto in Final Fantasy 15, Goro Akechi in Persona 5.
That's where I knew him from.
Yep. Moomin Rider in One Punch Man, the new voice of Kenshiro in Fist of the North Star, Tobian, Eris, and Hubert in Fire Emblem, Mori Jean in God of High School, Buffalogist in Bugsnax, Stardust Cookie, Happy Chaos in Guilty Gear, Hotaru in Demon Slayer, and Chai in Hi-Fi Rush. In Japanese, he's Yu Hayashi, who was Bambi, Peter Pan, Kyle Broflovsky, Christopher Robin, Steven Universe, the boy in the Memories section Cannon Fodder, Tsuyoshi Adano from Mob, Takuma Ino from Jujutsu Kaisen, and Mikey from Tokyo Revengers.
That is a very unique set of voices.
What was nice was we actually covered Memories recently on the podcast, or on Random, so I was able to just copy and paste my my voice notes from there to here, switching out the Smokey one, obviously.
Smokey is very interesting. He actually seems a lot more like him being entirely out of the loop and just going, what the fuck did I just get into? Perfect.
I thought he was fun. I always like that kind of character who's just like more or less just along for the ride.
Yeah. He's our new Speedwagon.
Hell yeah.
Did either of you notice his rat tail?
No, I
I did
did. Of course, I don't notice rat tails at all because I'm from the South. Those are kind of normal.
Fair. I only noticed it in the shots of them in the fancy restaurant, so maybe he had it only there.
So, I feel very weird about his introduction into the into the show.
How so?
So he robs the main character of or he robs Jonathan and Joestar, and he goes,
Joseph. Jonathan was part one.
Joseph. Oh no, sorry, Joseph. Sorry, Joseph. He robs Joseph and gets caught up with the cops and
Racist cops, yes.
Yeah, I mean, yes,
It's 1938.
very.
You can just say
Which-
that they're racist. It's fine.
No, I was about to be like, we sure this is not like current day or?
No, it's not current day because he didn't get shot 10 times.
Oh, fucking
That's Eli's line. I can't take credit for that.
that's right.
Real quick.
So
Good.
I did notice one thing. They
Okay.
looked a lot like actual pigs.
Yeah,
they
one of
did,
them
yeah.
was voiced by Richard Epcar, who we'll hear later in part 3.
Ooh, and some Secret of Darkness.
Yes.
Hmm.
Here's our hero, Joseph Joestar, played by Ben Diskin, who was...
boo,
Hey!
boo.
Don't boo Ben Diskin!
No, I was booing Joe.
Don't boo Joseph either! So Ben Diskin, who was Umino / Melvin in the Viz dub of Sailor Moon. Number 1 and number 2 in Codename Kids Next Door.
Fuck yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Could you tell, Jay? I'm assuming you watched
Now-
the dub.
Yes, but I was gonna say, now that I think about it,
He's just using his number 1 voice. It's great.
that's funny.
Eugene in Hey Arnold, Kensuke Adai in Evangelion, Arashi and Sai in Naruto, Grants in Bleach, Eddie Brock and Venom in Spectacular Spider-Man, Orion in Young Justice, Stitch in the Stitch anime, yes, that exists, Young Master Xehanort in Kingdom Hearts, Kaneo Takarada in Kill la Kill, Kanazawa in Durarara, Julius Albarea in Trials of Cold Steel, Jacob Matthew Caspar Lorenz Saizo and Hayato in Fire Emblem, Knuckle Bine in Hunter x Hunter, Skeptic in My Hero, Lance in Pokemon Generations, Satoru in Erased, Miyagawa in Mob Psycho 100, Nova in Marvel vs. Capcom, Darnik Prestone Darnik Prestone Ed Millennia.
You got it.
In
You got it.
Apocrypha. Marco in Radiant Historia. Gonzo in the new Muppet Babies. Haida in Agretzko. Mega Man in Mega Man 11. Johannes in Bloodstained. Pneumacocus in Cells at Work. Jack in Beastars. Shiro Ogami in BNA. Daki Aomine in Kuroko's Basket. Mord and the Ear in Vinland Saga. Skeletor in the 2021 Masters of the Universe reboot. Agumon and Greymon in the new Digimon reboot. And Dot Barrett in Mashal.
That's a lot of titles. That's a lot of characters.
Oh, you think that's a lot?
Oh god.
In Japanese.
It's like it's like being like the whole fucking filmography. If you were gonna read off like Takashi Miike's filmography, you're like, all right, let's go through the whole thing.
By the time I try to limit it to the important roles, Tomokazu Sugita has had a lot of important roles.
Give me a top 5. Just give me 5. Give me a 5.
I have the whole list. I'm reading the whole fucking list.
Oh,
I took the time to write this shit. I'm reading it. But there's some names I recognize. He is Gintoki, the main character in Gintama. Koji Minami in Cybuster. Charlotte Katakuri in One Piece. Hideki in Chobits. Gundam Tanaka.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Renkotsu in Inuyasha. Leon Xiaopin in Full Metal Panic. Brooklyn Luckfield in Super Robot Wars. Kensei Mugurama in Bleach. Hattori Kyohachiro in Basilisk. Kyon in Haruhi. Lawton the Wizard in Black Lagoon. Graham Spector in Bakano. Leon Mishima in Macross Frontier. Ragna the Blood Edge in Blaze Blue. EQ in Sayonara Zaizubo Sensei. Diaz Flock in Star Ocean. Oscar the Snot in Panty and Stocking. Renove in Umineko. Hajime Kanzaki in Beelzebub. Crom and Oliver in Fire Emblem. Big Band in Skullgirls. Kazuhiro Miller in Metal Gear Solid. Hideaki Tsurukawa in Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches. Skeptic in My Hero. Yes, both of them are voiced by Skeptic. Carlos in Zero Time Dilemma. Yusuke in Persona 5. The Master of Masters in Kingdom Hearts. Drang in Grand Blue. Lemmo in Dragon Ball Super. Gyohei Hamajima in Demon Slayer. Norman in Pokemon Masters. Balzac Yamada in Rumble Grandal. Supreme Leader Bossler in Live After World Domination. JP in Street Fighter 6. And Zilch Alexander in Raincode. Now, here is what I wrote for Joseph. I fucking adore Joseph. He's in my top 3 JoJos easily. Do you want to go first and elaborate why you disagree?
I just do not like him. That's
why?
How do I?
Do you want to come? Let's come back to you.
Well, I think it's gonna be more prevalent as we go through the episodes.
There is one thing I can agree with you on that I don't like about him, but we'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We might be agreeing on the same thing.
Is it the tongue thing?
The tongue thing. Is that the thing where he says to the girl?
Yeah, I hated that. I'm not gonna.
Shut up, bro. Make out with you.
I'm not gonna vouch for that. I hated that. I don't think he does that again. Thank God.
It's so much worse than the tongue. It's so bad.
It's still pretty bad, but yeah, I'll agree. That part sucks. But thankfully, it's a one-off thing, and he never does it again. Anyway, Coco, Ariel, what did you think of Joseph?
I think he's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He's such like I don't know how to say it. He's just he's such a goofball. When
the thing in episode 12 happened, Ariel and I realized it. He's Bugs Bunny.
Yes. Oh my god, that's the perfect way of putting it.
He just loves fucking with his opponents because he's that smart and that skilled. And he's Bugs Bunny if he had Jonathan Joestar's honor.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Ariel?
Yeah, I agree. I love him. And I think that if he was a D&D character, he would be a barbarian monk.
Yes, absolutely. There are several videos, I can't remember the channel, but there's a guy who does how to make a fictional character in as a build for D&D. I know Joseph is one of them.
Yeah, and he probably have one level in Bard just so that he can have Vicious Mockery.
Yeah, Eli says he is a trickster hero. I will say, has this helped at all, Jay?
It's making me understand it, but I might have to watch more episodes in order to actually understand.
As long as you understand it, that's fine. Yeah,
I understand. I think it's because a lot of it, I got the vibe of he just kind of was arrogant, and I'm like,
I get that.
Going from Jonathan to Joseph, I'm like, this is a weird shift, and I don't know if I'm for it.
I totally get that. I saw stuff in these episodes for the first time that I didn't notice before, like when I was watching it before, like that made me really love Joseph. Just seeing his actual like honor side come out, but we'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's like I can handle this disagreeing as long as we understand each other.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh shit! There goes Joseph's wallet. Joseph seems nonplussed. Unfortunately, the racist cops caught Smokey. That fat cop is just Pokey from Earthbound.
Oh my god, he is.
You're totally right.
He really is. Fuck.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, the fat cop is voiced by Richard Epcar, who we will see again in this episode, and he is a main character in Part 3.
Oh, that's fun.
Yep. So Joseph catches up to them, and he tells the cops that the wallet was a gift to keep Smokey out of trouble, says ACAB immediately, and uses Hamon to blast the fuckers away. I love Joseph.
I literally thought that. As I was watching the episode, I'm like, oh, is there going to be... Are we getting an ACAB bit here? Is that what's going on?
Yes.
Okay.
I do know this for a spoiler for later on down the line. It's not just him that goes ACAB.
Can we talk, by the way, about how... We talk about how much of a booger eater this cop was, by the way?
That's...
Oh my gosh, yes. He's literally a boogeyman, is what I put in the note.
Like, he literally... But also, like... Okay, this is also with, like, how the dub plays out. It's this... It doesn't do it well, because, like, he does the whole booger thing where he wipes it on his fucking face. He wipes it on Joseph's face.
I was fine with them, like, changing that, because that shit was disgusting.
No, they do it. They do it. It's the gross, but then the reaction isn't like, ugh. The reaction is like, huh. Curious why you do that.
That's how it is in the sub, too.
No, but like how he delivers it. That's why I'm like, how he delivers it, it doesn't come off right. It feels like it's like a...
I see. Well,
a weird delivery.
As with the stuff in Part 1, there are some parts in Part 2 sub that I have to play for y'all because they're just too iconic.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Joseph got real lucky that his shot didn't hit the cop's finger in a way that he still fired the gun. I have a question for y'all.
Okay.
What age would you say Joseph is here?
Gotta be in like his late, like I would say like mid or late 20s.
17.
I'd go, yeah, like maybe early 30s is where I'd cut it off.
He is 18.
Well, maybe what the fuck? Oh, come on.
I will again refer to the best part in Invaders Event of the Florpus, where Dib looks like a JoJo character. My name is Dib Membrane. I'm 12 years old.
This is why. Why do the Japanese have to fucking draw it like kids, but they look like fully developed adults?
Okay, you joke about that, but there is literally an anime right now where there is a elementary school student who looks like he's a high schooler. And
I don't like it.
What anime?
It is like supposed to be a dating where he's wanting to date a high school girl.
Don't like that. I was just gonna point out Bill Watkins from Spy Family, the 6-year-old who's built like a fucking brick shithouse. But that's
I thought you said Bill Watterson.
So yeah, Joseph's dad died in World War I, and his mom died from disease, so Aaron has been raising him. Back with Speedwagon crew, they seem to have found a man in the giant pillar, a column dude, if you will.
Now, okay, can I just make it fully transparent?
Go ahead.
And I think this is the moment you see a giant man in a pillar surrounded by a bunch of masks that we know are a problem. Get out of there. Leave.
Yes, but Jay, this is
I made a discovery. All right. I made a discovery. All right, that's cool. I'm leaving.
Again,
Fuck
white
this
dudes
shit.
in the 30s. They think they're invincible.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Like the same shit. All right, unrelated. It's well, sort of related, but also related. Anyway, I've been poking my head at the fucking Paranormal Activity movies recently, because they're when you look back on them, they're pretty fucking good, but they're pretty fun. I noticed that like every male protagonist in those movies has the same motif of "it is my house, I'm going to deal with the problem," and that's what it feels like dealing with fucking Like, that's what it feels like dealing with fucking Speedwagon.
That's just horror tropes in general.
Yeah.
Like Eddie Murphy had a bit about that in the 80s. Which was actually the inspiration for him to star in the Haunted Mansion movie.
I love that movie.
Shame he didn't have a cameo in the new one.
Casey loves the ride, so she hates the Eddie Murphy movie.
I don't
But it's
think
based
any
off of the
movie-
original lore.
The ride's a banger.
Yeah, this dude's been alive in this pillar for millennia. Presumably, he's got a really strong bladder. Oh, flashback time. Oh no, young Joseph's being attacked by the Green Hornet. I'm gonna say 6 words that might break you. Joseph Joestar plane crash count 1.
I'm
It's a
looking
running
forward to
thing.
this.
I hate that so much.
Wait, so he's Launchpad?
And the line that I noticed this time was, "You two are the only family that I've got." There's the Joestar caring nature. It's just buried under snark.
Yeah.
Back with Strayzo. What you doing? Oh, killing everyone in the ruins, turning into a vampire? Neato.
The word. Listen, when Strayza did that, I was like, I was actually fucking mad.
You thought he killed
I
Speedwagon, didn't you?
I was so mad.
Don't worry, Speedwagon's fine.
All because he wanted to be some fucking. All because he wanted to be just another muscle-bound twink. I get it. I get the appeal, but Strayza, why do you do this to us?
So Strayzo, like all of us, is concerned about the aging process.
Yeah. Why did getting old turn him into the villain? I mean, was he already getting tired of boomer jokes before he was even becoming a boomer?
Because the plot demanded it.
Yeah, pretty much. His solution: do what Dio did, but better. I guess he's like that bit from Arrested Development. But what if it works for us? This is where have you guys seen that tweet? I'm 45, a billionaire, and I'm trying to reverse aging.
Oh my god.
Just put that with Strayzo. It's some New York Post bullshit op-ed where the guy's like, I'm 45, a billionaire, trying to reverse the aging process, and I'm hard to date.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm
Wow.
LJ Fudd, millionaire. I own a mansion on a yacht.
I secretly admire Dio. Well, that was one well-kept secret, Strayzo.
Nice try.
Yeah. Strayzo points out that the only people left to know about the mask are Erina and Joseph, and thus he's off to eliminate those threats. Back with Joseph, he's being accosted by a cabbie. I want to point out the line in the sub. The cabbie says to Joseph, "Go find a dog to lick your ass."
That's clever. That's a better line read, I think.
Yeah.
I would have loved to hear that. I would have loved to hear that in the actual dub.
Strayzo, I want that twink obliterated.
I gotta admit, though, with New York road rage, that has never changed, I guess, has it?
It really hasn't.
Did we not watch Midnight Cowboy?
But my line for this is the average cabbie experience. Oh hey, there's Erina. And yeah, she's already more of a fleshed out character in that she's able to put the fear of God in Joseph. I have to ask, Coco, what did you think of Erina in part 2?
No, yeah, just just a lot of fun. I really like the grandma, the archetype of grandma that nobody fucks with.
Yeah.
That's just always been so much fun for me.
So she's great. She has very little screen time in part 2 just because it's not her story. But
Yeah.
man, all her screen time is fantastic.
She is a bam through and through right now.
Yeah. I love how Erina's like, "You're a nice lad, Smokey. You're my grandson too now." I mean, are you gonna turn down a kind elderly woman's fortune?
I mean, no, but also, it's kind of funny how she just adopts that. Just, well, you're part of the family now.
Yeah,
I
Smokey,
wish I had a sugar grandma like that.
Smokey even brings that up about Erina, that she's a kindly old woman who takes in the less fortunate, even punks, seemingly out of loneliness, but in reality carrying out on her husband's philosophy of helping those in need. I don't know why it only occurred to me now that Joseph and Erina only moved to New York recently under Speedwagon's request, and presumably Dime. Joseph's so close to figuring out that Speedwagon fucked his grandpa.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah.
Erina baps him for his cattiness. I love part 2 Erina.
him asking his grandma if she dated the Speedwagon. No, he loved your grandpa.
So yeah, the girl Erina rescued in part 2 was Joseph's mom, and the boy Erina was pregnant with was Joseph's dad. And Joseph does indeed carry Jonathan's ideals, even if he has a strange way of showing it. He's a good and noble person who tries to do what's right in his own strange way. Yeah, I only noticed Smokey's rat tail here. Oh right, we're in America. Here's some American racism. Hi again, Richard Epcar. Before we deal with the uncomfortable implications of that, y'all, it's time. What bar is Joseph Joestar in his New York outfit?
For me, I saw it as like Marty McFly.
Coco, you got one?
See that red coat? Yeah, Marty McFly is what immediately comes to mind.
Here are the ones I have written down. Gomer says, a refreshing can of Coca-Cola. Eli says, hashtag willpower, which coincidentally is brought to you by the refreshing intentions of Coca-Cola, not sponsored. Jeff says, a 100-gram bar. Fizz says he is a limited edition Back to the Future Out of Time bar. And I say, he's Zack Sabre Jr.
I feel like I should know who
The
that is.
technical wizard, Zack Sabre Jr.
He's a wrestler.
He's a professional wrestler
Okay.
who specializes in submission holds.
Yeah. I love Erina's line. People are entitled to their opinion, but this misbegotten oaf has given insult to our friend. Be mindful of the other guests now, but teach him a lesson.
Yeah, I was about to say, I loved she was like, make sure not to hurt anybody else while you take it.
This is such a good, it's such a good character moment. Time for a
You
fight.
know you're in trouble when Grandma authorizes your ass kicking.
Yeah. So Joseph's thing is that he's really, really fucking good at reading his opponent and predicting what they'll do next, which extends to even predicting what they'll say. Next, you'll say,
Okay,
is this a running
now-
gag? To you.
Allow me to jump in here because you know what I immediately thought of when I saw this part. Go for it, but I'll put in my input after this. Homeboy reminded me a lot of Robert Downey Jr. as Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, I think that might have been the inspiration for Robert Downey Jr.'s Sherlock Holmes.
Because that was like the fight scene where he's like projecting, he's like, if I go here, he's gonna exactly.
I love that. That's one of my favorite scenes in any Sherlock Holmes thing ever. And yeah, Jay, next you'll say, is this a running gag? To you.
Is this a running? Oh, son.
But yeah, Eli says, Erina, grab his dick and twist it, Joseph. She's not
Your dick twist.
Your dick twist. But yeah, I love how this is an easy way to show the audience that despite him being cocky and impulses-driven, Joseph isn't stupid. He's actually really, really fucking smart.
I'm gonna say the whole like prediction thing that he does.
Yes.
I first learned about it a few days ago when on Twitter there was this animation of like
Yes!
Spy from TF2 doing it.
Yeah,
I think he retweeted it.
Yeah.
And like when that happened in this episode, in like these episodes, I was like, oh yay, I get it.
Yeah, they actually put that in All-Star Battle, the fighting game. I think he has a unique line for every character. And for part
That's
3
fun.
Dio, it's next you'll say, Eddie! I love the line in the dub. That pink horror of a coat.
Yeah.
So why does this coat rack have fucking protruding spikes?
Maybe he broke it before,
Those look like perfectly drilled to me.
Yeah. It that is the weird tote rack but it's also the 80s. So 80s equals wait, no.
30s.
It's 30s for them. Yeah, shit. I was thinking 80s because that was when it was made and pop culture shit.
So some mafia guy informs JoJo, Smokey, and Erina that Speedwagon's dead. Thankfully, he's wrong, but they don't know that. This motherfucker actually says genuine. Don't gut punch the messenger, JoJo.
Is he wanting to ride a pony?
I was gonna say, well, every time I hear genuine, I just think of the line from Parks and Rec. You know genuine? He's genuine! Later that night, we want to talk about Smokey and JoJo's weird conversation. Anyone remember?
I'm trying.
For those who don't, they're looking in like some a comic book or something, and seeing an ad for a push-up bra. Or like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, I do remember this. Where there was in the dub, it's basically about like breast augmentation.
yeah, that's what it's not much augmentation as is like things you can put
No,
in the bigger.
In the dub, it is about.
No, I mean it's not a surgery, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just different terminology.
Hmm.
Which all I'm thinking of is Chainsaw Man. Because Power does that at one point. Yeah, they're talking about the latest in fashion technology when something is amiss. Oh, hi, Strayzo! What nice fangs you have! I would love as if they passed each other, Joseph hits Strayzo with a hormone-filled lariat. Would that be awesome?
My first thought was, I don't know why, when Joseph was looking at Strayzo, my first thought was like his internal dialogue of, I've seen this twink before somewhere. Where do I know him? And he like just looks and
I'm assuming Strayzo's the twink here.
yeah, the alleged twink, yes.
I was like, in no universe is Joseph fucking Joestar a twink. He's
No.
the platonic ideal of a himbo.
If anything, he is the twunk.
Yeah, exactly. This is the twink.
I don't actually know if that's the right terminology. I'm gonna look that up really.
Well,
Twunk definitions.
He's
Hold on, I'm doing research. Hold on 1 second.
Blank, blank, twonk. Sorry.
A homosexual. Hold on, all right, hang on. I gotta get up on the mic so we can all. Excuse me. This is
Yes,
important.
go
This is
ahead,
important.
go ahead.
This is vital
Yeah,
to your everyday life.
I'm
A
listening.
twunk is a Sorry, I need to put in the little. A twunk is a homosexual. No, we're not gonna do that. A twunk is a homosexual term to describe a young man, usually between 18 to 25, that has the face of a twink with the physique of a hunk. I think that checks all of the boxes.
Yeah, I more go with a himbo, because Joseph is the platonic ideal of a himbo.
Sure.
But yeah, the hormone-filled lariat didn't happen, but I like Plan B, shooting the fuck out of him with a Tommy gun. It won't kill him.
Yeah,
it will
can we
hurt
talk
like
about
hell.
how he pulled that Tommy gun out of his ass?
Yep. Even Smokey's like,
just
where did he even get the Tommy gun?
to unload over probably 1,000 bullets.
Oh god, yeah, he just non-stop. Like it's like it's like Red Brown.
And then on top of that, all of the bullets dent. They don't go through. They dent him.
Real quick, couple things. Eli again. The three words that describe you are as follows, and I quote: twink, twank, twunk.
Yes, I said the twink, twink, twonk.
And Joseph, all right, I believe you, but my Tommy gun doesn't.
I've got the power of friendship and this gun on
this
my
gun I
side.
found. And the episode ends with Joseph, tears in his eyes, declaring war on Strayzo as Revenge for Speedwagon. What a fucking phenomenal introduction to Joseph.
Oh yeah.
Any other thoughts on episode 10?
It is a solid opener. Granted, so far not a fan of Joseph, but solid opener.
Coco?
Very good. I was immediately pulled in. I felt like I was like it didn't feel too out of place. I was like it did. As far as like it can feel easy for a second season of something or like a second part of something to like feel contrived. It's like okay, we didn't need the story to continue, but here it worked. It worked. For
JoJo's
me.
really good at that.
That's good. That's good to hear. Because sometimes I'm like, okay, like I mean, I'm glad that you're making more, but like, you could have at least pretended like there was a reason to make more besides you got renewed.
Episode 11, the Game Master roll for initiative. We open on JoJo shooting up the cafe, basically out of pure rage. Seemingly the bullets just bounced off of Strayzo. And boy, do I hate JoJo being like, calm down or I'll shove my tongue down your throat to a screaming woman. I chalk this up.
This is not a move.
Thank fucking God he doesn't do this shit again. As far as I remember. I chalk this up to having been written in 1987, the era of Revenge of the Nerds. If you've seen that movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I haven't and I don't.
You will not like it.
It's a good movie, doesn't hold up.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of like saying like would you make Blazing Saddles how Blazing Saddles was made now? No, you wouldn't. You absolutely
Except
couldn't.
there's one specific scene that people have a problem with, which actually there's a lot more now that I think about it.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah, there is quite a lot.
We get our first instance of Part 2's opening, Bloody Stream by Coda. What do y'all think?
I'm biased in favor of this intro because someone showed it to me like 7 years ago. But I absolutely love this. Like, it's so good. I've had the song saved on my phone for a number of years.
So good. I have good news. Coda gets to do another opening for JoJo.
Hell yeah.
Ariel?
I prefer the first opening.
That's fair. I get why. As just on its own, what do you think?
On its own, though, it is great. The song itself, I like. It's just the opening itself.
Like the visual?
The animation. Yeah, the visuals, I prefer opening one. But the song, it slaps.
Yeah. Jay?
I could not speak on this because I skipped the intros.
Oh,
so
come on! Okay.
yeah, no, because to be fair, again, I watched like
No,
a shit ton of episodes today, so I powered through
Fair.
everything.
Next time, I want your thoughts on the opening.
Okay.
In episode 13, but we'll get there. We'll be talking about episode 13. Anyway, yeah, point is, I want your thoughts on the episode next time. Anyway, yeah, for me, it's incredible, straight up. Easily in my top 5 JoJo openings. So Straizo's just up and pulling bullets out of his leg, or just flexing him out. That works too. And this is only going to make sense to me. You can really hear the anti-spiral in his cadence there. Anyway, opening with the eye lasers, whoa. And, too bad for JoJo, no more bullets. No more bullets. But he names the eye lasers the Space Ripper Stingy Eyes.
Yeah, so, can we talk about the name choice for that?
Straizo is clearly an extra bitch just like Dio.
Sting Ripper.
Eyes.
Sorry. Stingy eyes.
Space Ripper Stingy Eyes. Yeah.
Space Ripper Stingy eyes.
And again, the space just makes me think of the anti-spiral.
Listen, at least in part 1, the names kind of like lined up with whatever worked out. Like, I think it was like silver something, red something. Like, at least there was like colors and then like. Oh, no, I'm talking about like in the previous episodes of part 1.
Yeah, the overdrive.
There's like the over, like at least that makes sense. All right, one has to do like blue overdrive or something like that has to do with water. Okay, yeah, that I don't think that has to amount to anything.
No,
in terms of a move type, no, it's like he just kind of
eyes would sting, admittedly.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's about right for it.
The Space Ripper thing makes no fucking sense. It's just cool.
Hold on, I want to look up something really. Space Ripper Stingy Eyes.
You know, the etymology of this?
I just want to know how does Space Ripper Stingy Eyes work? Okay.
I hate that
space.
Good.
Sorry. It creates 2 pressurized fluid jets from the eyes strong enough to cut cleanly through a stone column and split huge clouds.
Yep, we saw that in part 1.
Okay.
Like, vampire powers have throughout fiction made no fucking sense. They're
yes,
and whatever the plot demands, it's fine.
My guess is that they rip through space because they travel.
No, that actually makes sense. I will point out the line from Straizo and Joseph doing the next you'll say thing. In the dub, it's easy as taking candy from a baby. In the sub, it's easy as smothering a baby.
Good job.
I mean, he's fucking job. Yeah, nice use of reflection, Joseph, and then gun butt to the face with Hamon too, but it didn't work somehow. So apparently, Straizo has a Hamon conducting scarf made of the stomachs of the fictionals.
Yeah, that was the fucking stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's like on the playground. No, I got you. Nah, I have a scarf made of a beetle you've never heard of that keeps you safe.
A bunch of fucking scarabs.
I do love specifically the intestinal lining of them. Which, how the fuck do you carve out the intestinal lining of individual bugs?
You would have had to you would have had to know a guy.
Yeah.
You have to know a guy in order to make that happen.
I love Joseph's insult of Straight's oaf. Joseph's unimpressed, and he's quick. Hence why he put a grenade on Straizo's scarf. Make that a dozen.
Yeah,
Yeah, all those grenades was holy shit.
That was awesome.
Now,
After you made the connection to Bugs Bunny, that's the scene that I thought of.
I thought of a different scene. We'll get there.
I wanna note something really quick. So while I was watching all these episodes, I was hanging out with my daughter, and I had it on my phone, like, because what normally happens is, and this is to any future parents out there, if you can look up a YouTube channel called Miss Rachel, it will save your life, because that is the most that if you have a kid, that kid will become distracted by that YouTube channel. It's godsend. Anyway, so she's watching her TV show. I'm sitting on my phone watching, and I look away, and then all of a sudden I see like 20 grenades on this dude's back. And I'm like, all right, I'm invested now.
Okay, I have a extremely dumb pull. So an anime Bennett talked about years ago. You ever heard of Mad Bull 34?
No.
It's a terrible anime. Bennett talked about it on Anime Abandoned. But there's a very infamous scene where it's a cop anime, and one of the cops, wanting to be prepared, decided to, and I swear to God, this is real, tie grenades to his pubes.
Okay, two questions.
Yep.
Okay, first off, why?
It's a weird fucking anime. I don't know what to tell you.
Second question, I refer to the first question.
I don't know. Now,
Stupid.
y'all, there's a very important thing that that happens here. As Straizo is reforming, Joseph uses one of his most powerful moves, the Joestar secret technique. Run the fuck away!
That reminded me, so that, what's it called? That, when he's like reassembling.
Yeah.
I got huge John Carpenter The Thing vibes.
Absolutely.
And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this is sick. Can it just be this the whole show?
Jay, I have good news for you. Each part increases the body horror.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, great.
Excellent. I need more gross out horror in my life. Okay.
Then it's JoJo the show for you!
So I watched, so just as like a little side note, I don't know how many of you guys are like big on horror here. I watched Talk to Me recently.
Oh, that's good.
That movie's fucking good. That's a good fucking horror movie, and like that has some gross out scenes.
In the Japanese, Joseph using the Joestar secret technique became a big meme because of the delivery of Run for Your Life.
I just remembered there was something I wanted to say earlier, but I forgot. It was when you were listing off the things that Ben Diskin has been in before. Ben Diskin, alongside all those very very good like roles in anime and video games and like TV shows, it's like was also in a Homestuck dub that I edited. He played Gamzee.
See, this was like I said, there are a bunch of connections here, and Eli points out Kids Next Door did have the line "Run away like little girls." So he had practice even at a young age, because Ben Diskin's only 40.
It is weird that he's... Dang, he's only a couple of years older than me. That's...
Straizo's like...
I feel so accomplished.
Straizo's like, I may be immortal, but man did that smart. And Straizo takes his no pictures policy very seriously. Smokey and JoJo seem to escape to the Brooklyn Bridge, bit of an odd choice for arrest, but here we are. And oh great, Straizo's taken a hostage. I don't even know who that woman is, you moron!
You know what that actually, I was like, this scene, I got heavily reminded of Metal Gear Solid 2.
I would play the opening level to that, but go on.
So if you don't know Metal Gear Solid 2, there's a character in the game named Vamp. And he holds someone hostage on a bridge. So it was like a cool parallel.
Yeah, don't grind your teeth like that, JoJo. It's super bad for you. Joseph's just like, oh, please, you're not going to show? Oh, shit, you ripped out a tooth. You're serious about this. Well, time to save this random woman. So what do we think of Joseph deflecting the lasers with shot glasses?
He's so cool. I don't know. I have no other way to say it. He's
awesome.
so cool.
Yeah.
Jay, what do you think?
This is where it started to feel fucking nuts. I'm not gonna lie.
I have a connection here. We brought up Yuki earlier. I'm fairly certain this is the inspiration for the incredibly useful trap card, Magic Cylinder. Basically just when the opponent attacks, you negate it and they take the damage.
Yeah, whenever we were watching it the other day and you mentioned that did sound legit about right.
Give my best to Speedwagon in hell! Why do you think Speedwagon's in hell?
Salt in the wound, I guess.
Because he thought he... I assume this will be related to something happening later on.
What, the fact that Speedwagon's alive?
Oh no, that he thinks he's in hell.
No, it's just weird that he thinks his friend went to hell when he died. There's no foreshadowing there, it's just weird. But yeah.
Like,
Go ahead.
not in heaven? Hell? Seriously?
Eli did point out, it's like that bit from The Simpsons, see you in hell from heaven. But Straizel's alive for the time being, and Joseph stops him from escaping. I love the exchange they have, which essentially boils down to, aren't you frightened that I still possess enough power to blow away your right arm? I'll just pummel you into fertilizer with my left arm. That was fucking awesome. Straizel warns Joseph that he's now entangled in the affairs of the Pillar Man, which will end badly for him. Joseph has had enough, but Straizel exposits on nonetheless. Turns out that Pillar Man was in that pillar for 2,000 years, and what a crick in the neck.
So, can I ask just a stupid question?
Yeah.
Because maybe, I don't know if this was cleared up in the next... not in the next episode. No, not... It wasn't
the one you missed.
Anyway. Yeah. Is this a Dio?
What do you mean?
Is Pillar Man, is this a Dio?
No. Like,
This
are
is
you
not a
saying
Dio?
he's Dio ancestor? No.
Or a version of Dio? Like,
No,
it's nothing
they're
to do
not
with Dio?
human.
It's just a thing who looks like a dude.
Essentially, Pillar Men are primordial beings that are, like, a stage above humans in evolution.
Oh, so they're the engineers from Prometheus.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my god.
Yeah, pretty much. I think. Yes,
That's a
actually.
perfect fucking reference. That's very well.
Yeah, that's spot on. I
That's
didn't even see that movie.
perfect.
That's spot on.
Also, I will say, unpopular opinion, Prometheus is pretty good.
I haven't seen
I
it,
wouldn't know. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Also, great body horror.
but yeah,
If you're still interested in that.
one of the things you missed is they absorb humans, or they absorb vampires into their bodies for food. That's why those masks were there, because the vampires are just their food.
Interesting.
So all that shit that happened in part one, the main villain of part one was just a snack to the main villain
Chump
of part
change. Absolute
two. That's
chump
great
change.
power scaling.
That's fucked up, though.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, not a Venus flytrap, but one of the other ones that it, hey, I have some nice, delicious goo. Come over here. Just a trap.
Straizel uses Hamon to self-destruct, and thus he's gone. The epitome of live fast, die young, and leave a handsome-looking corpse. Shit, I think he fucked up the last part.
He left debris.
Well, I was hoping Lee would be here for this part, but
Can we talk about... All right, really quick. Can we just talk about...
yes, please.
something
Whatever you're gonna
with
say,
this
yes,
next
please.
episode? All right, I'm sorry. All right, this is
No,
gonna be...
no, Jay, I am dreading this next part. Please talk.
Okay, the next episode?
No, let's address.
Oh no,
them.
is it the fact that the fucking Nazis
Yes!
show up?
Sid Shamans.
Like, I was like, why? Like,
Jay?
like I get, like, hold on, and don't clip this, don't fucking take this out of context.
Jay, I have
I
a whole
get-
thing written.
Hold on. I get the concept of using Nazis as like the we're gonna utilize this fucking primordial being, but why?
Jay, I have a whole thing.
I know you do, but I also have an opinion, and I'm
No.
just saying why.
I'm answering in this opinion.
I hate it. This is rhetorical. This is rhetoric.
As the token Jew here, let me have my thing.
Okay, I'm not a fan.
Lee, here, I have a whole thing written. Well, time to discuss the Nazi elephant in the room. Yes, because this part takes place in 1938, there's Nazis involved, and unfortunately, yes, a Nazi major is a supporting character who fights alongside JoJo.
Fucking
Now-
don't like it.
Lee and I met in high school, and I bring that up because it was specifically a Jewish private school. Like, we had Hebrew as a second language courses, there was service twice a week, the whole shebang. I mention this because it falls on us, and now me, and Lee in the next episode, to kind of act as the authority on matters like this, given our background. From my personal perspective, while I don't endorse it, it doesn't bother me enough to stop watching. Like, the context is what's important here. This is literally one of the only times their fighting a worse evil actually applies. And keep in mind, this is before World War II started, and unless you're in Europe, you didn't know what the Nazis were doing. Plus, Joseph didn't adopt any of their philosophy, thank fucking God. It's a case of, I have to work with this fucker to survive. I get why people have a problem with it, believe me. But from my perspective, it's not as bad as it could be, and it's not enough to keep me from, it's not enough to like make me stop right now.
That's entirely fair, yeah. If I might, would I be able to speak on it?
Go right ahead, yeah.
The reason why I've been doing so many silly German voices is because I thought that it was really funny that all the Nazis in these episodes were really stupid and they all died horrible deaths.
That is also a very another point I forgot to bring up. Thank you. Yeah,
there's an ancient vampire. They're all just going "Guten Leben" and they explode.
It's basically Castle Wolfenstein. Fucking
yes, exactly, and that's why I think it works is because they're just portrayed as fucking asshole morons who die horribly.
Well, I mean, no, I was gonna say they're asshole morons, but also they are. They have to obviously give the context of these are the worst people.
Yeah, and I appreciate
it. With exposition and like specific scenarios.
Like, it's not condoning the Nazis, thank fucking God. Japan's history with Nazi Germany. But no, it is just very clear these people are the biggest pieces of shit on the planet.
And the fact that it's Nazis and vampires together. Did this sound like turn into Hellsing?
Yeah, there was just a weird occult division of the Nazis.
Yeah. Yes, there was.
Hellboy.
Yes, there was, and it's.
Also, I should mention I am ancestrally German and Russian, so I have the authority to make these dumb German jokes. Speaking of dumb Germans, this is Rudolf von Stroheim.
Yeah, that's the. Can we talk about how stupid of a fucking name and person this character is?
Since I'm not using this next time, I'm going to say this now. Do you know what character Stroheim's design inspired?
Ooh. Can I see a photo of him really quick?
Yes, you can. Hang on.
I need a photo because I'm going to take a wild guess before you give me the answer.
Here we go.
Mm-hmm. Fucking ad. All right, hang on. You're gonna have. I'm gonna have to answer this in 10 seconds. I'm sorry. Just vamp for me really quick. Vamp.
Ariel, Coco, do you have guesses?
I want to say M. Bison.
No, but you're close.
Oh, my lead.
Zangief.
Ariel got it. It's Guile.
Guile, that was it. Fuck. Sorry, I didn't mean Zangief. I meant to say.
Yeah.
I thought of go home and be a family man.
The haircut he has later inspires Guile in Street Fighter, which is very funny that a Nazi inspired an American design because considering the Nazis were literally inspired by the Americans.
Huh.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Not a fan.
This is Rudolf von Stroheim, played by Daniel Warren, who was Count Rochefort in D'Artagnan and the Three Musket Hounds, Frank Drake in Dracula, Sovereign of the Damned, Stick Bernhard in Stick Bernhard in Genesis Climber Mos Paeta, Jaggy in the original Fist of the North Star, the Turtle in Dragon Ball, the title character of Space Adventure Cobra, Sayo Wong in Outlaw Star, Chapel the Evergreen in Trigun, Cougar in Ark the Lad, the Minister of State Skunk in Metropolis, Rob in Gundam 8th MS Team, Jean Glenn in Heat Guy J, Aria in Detakoko Princess, Akihiro Takamine in Paranoia Agent, Roy Fokker in Super Dimension Fortress Macross.
I got nipples, fucker.
I fucking knew one of you was going to do it.
I was waiting for it. I'm like,
Neil in Eureka 7, Gadven in Gunsword, Byakuya Kikuchi in Bleach, Mytel in Bobobo, Shuji and Igor in Persona 3, Okawa in Digimon Data Squad, Zorthy in Gurren Lagann, Baloo and Grandpa in Klonoa, Hans and Messner in Monster, Arthur in Marvel vs. Capcom, Caster in Fate, Balkan in Maji, Hanuman in Fire Emblem, and Sequant in Hunter x Hunter.
I'm sorry, what was the name of the last one?
Sequant.
Okay, and it's in what show?
Hunter x Hunter.
And who does he play again?
I'll fucking smack you.
Seeing if you'd go for the bit.
Like, we have another Gurren Lagann connection. I like Zorthy. Anyway, in Japanese, it's Atsushi Imaroka, who was the Count in Sesame Street.
Blah, blah, blah.
I forgot that it was the Count in Sesame Street. Charlotte Montdor in One Piece, Namiko's father in Desert Punk, Jamushi Jibe in Basilisk, Jimothy Kubej in Elemental Jalad, Hideto Nomura in Welcome to the NHK, Nagasumi's father in My Bride is a Mermaid, Toyama in Bamboo Blade, Dallas Genoard in Baccano, Ron Izumi in Durarara, Cliffjumper, Highbrow, and Ironhide in Transformers Animated, Adon in Street Fighter, Seuss in Gravity Falls.
This is an excellent list.
Oh yeah, this is why I do these voice actor things, because sometimes you just get blindsided. Debbie Koss in Log Horizon, Smog in Assassination Classroom, Tank Top Black Hole in One Punch Man.
I'm sorry, I just had whiplash. I thought when you said Smog, you were gonna say fucking the Hobbit Desolation of Smog, and I was gonna be like, fucking excuse me?
No, that's Smaug.
No, I know, but they're probably spelled the same.
They're not. It's Smaug is S-M-A-U-G.
G, yeah.
Tank Top Black Hole in One Punch Man, Winston in Overwatch.
Oi there.
Dolza, Jaritza, and Death Knight in Fire Emblem, Kaku in Star Wars Visions, and Daniel Kirsch in Catherine. So yeah, the Nazis captured Speedwagon.
I understand the time period, and I understand, like, why.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that the Nazis are involved in this fucking shit.
No, I get it. I totally get it. See, I just try and focus on the fact that they explode into chunky salsa.
Can we? Oh my god, I can't wait to talk about the one.
Right.
The one,
See, that's the part that's fun.
Hold on, hold on, I have to look up something really quick.
And it's another reason I endorse watching Shin Kamen Rider, because in the original Kamen Rider, the characters that Kamen Rider is beating up are Nazis. So if you apply that to this movie, that he's just turning Nazis into piles of blood and goop. That movie's so fucking violent, it's great.
Oh no, I was
really
gonna say,
love
I personally just can't wait till we talk about how what was the name of the
Stroheim?
The Pillar Man. The Pillar Man. Okay, I just can't wait to talk about how the Pillar Man turns one of the Nazis into a Goron from Legend of Zelda.
I was gonna say a Boomer from Left 4 Dead.
That's a fucking Goron, dude.
Fair enough. But yeah, at least we see right away the Nazis are scum. Because they've taken a makeshift base in out of a town in Mexico. Oh, thank God we're back with JoJo and Smokey. They're making sure that the hostage woman is okay, sort of. Oh boy, this episode is upsetting.
It's pretty rough, I won't lie.
Delayed missing tooth reaction. Looks like we're going to Mexico. Hooray! And back with the nut. God, I hate having to keep saying that. But yeah, I love how Daniel Warren's Stroheim calls him Speedwagon.
Speedwagon.
So yeah, more of the Nazis being fucking horrible, as they do. Oh yeah, they took the Pillarmen with them, pillar and all. Why did you make me live? I was the one who made you live, but I can change that. Golden Corral's new slogan.
You know what? So this is a weird pull. When this line came up, I don't know how many of you guys have watched the show Hannibal.
I'm not.
Okay. So okay. I think you're gonna know immediately what I'm talking about. Lawrence Fishburne's wife. Okay. I'm glad that got a laugh. Because it's a fucked up moment where, like, so context for everyone who doesn't know, in the show she has like stage 4 cancer and she's been hiding the progression of it from Lawrence Fishburne.
Right there.
No, yeah, it's a real rabble rouser. And she goes to see Hannibal Lecter to talk to him, because he's a therapist.
Yeah.
And she flatlines in his office. So he goes, all right. And he walks into the other room, gets a needle from the fucking cabinet, presumably with like adrenaline or some shit, and just injects this woman. And she wakes up and is like, wait, no, why did you bring me back? Why the fuck did you bring me back?
That's fucked up. See, my joke for that was, it's not true serum, it's just grape juice.
Hold on one sec. Go ahead.
I was just saying, yeah, it is fucked up, but at the same time, just the way that he got up and got it and everything was what made it hilarious.
Because he's a fucking monster.
Yes.
And speaking of fucking monsters, more of the Nazis being fucking horrible.
Hey, well, the Nazis.
We learned that not only did Speedwagon discover oil for his fortune, he discovered the deposit of oil that fucking shaped the world economy.
Oh.
Only Speedwagon would fucking find, like, the mother lode.
I just like to point
Of course, it's the British guy that found the Texas tea in the desert.
Speedwagon's money is a thing for the rest of the franchise.
Is he like does he like have investments all over and it like pops up? Like
a thing called the Speedwagon Foundation is a thing.
Oh my god. Fuck.
Yeah. So JoJo's off to Mexico. Sweet hog. continuing the horny vibe. What that tongue do, dude? The fucking guy on cactus, like, plus another Jill tongue. This is probably the weakest episode in today's batch, just has the most unpleasant stuff in it.
I think it's just because of the fact that there's an overriding veil of Nazi shit.
Yeah. And
I think that's what it is.
And it's not the point where the Nazi shitters getting their ass kicked, you know?
Now, question, is this a thing that happens? Are the Nazis throughout this entire part, like this entire part 2?
As jobbers, yes.
Okay.
Like, Stroheim is the only one important one. I think they stopped showing up after a certain point aside from Stroheim.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Coco, what do you think of the set? Or of this, not the set, this episode?
This one was pretty good. Like I said, it's always fun watching Nazis die in funny ways. Unless that was the next episode. Sorry, I watched them all in one session, so like I may be getting things a little confused. But yeah, I enjoyed this one.
I'd like to talk about how the what's his name, the Pillar Man, broke his bones down.
We'll get there.
Okay, we're not there yet.
We're only halfway through the set.
Oh fuck!
We've been going a while.
Oh my god.
Ariel, what'd you think of episode 11?
Episode 11 was fairly interesting. Again, wasn't a fan of a few of the things. I did love the reactions, though, in the restaurant of everybody freaking the fuck out and him just grabbing that little teacup and it breaks apart.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was pretty solid.
So basically, the first part I really enjoyed. It was until we got to the Nazis and it was like, what the fuck?
What a shock the Nazis ruined everything.
Yeah,
They always ruin everything.
It was like a Quentin Tarantino film where it just went from one
Okay,
to another.
hold on. Inglourious Bastards is a fucking great movie.
Oh,
because the whole point of it is murdering the Nazis.
So is this?
Yes, I'm just saying it's a comparison in a good way, I'd hope, because that movie fucking slaps.
Yeah.
No, it was like From Dusk Till Dawn combined together with Inglourious Bastards.
Well,
what I was trying to say.
That's a solid choice. All right. I like this episode. I like the next episode way more. I'll be right back.
Fair enough. Everyone take a minute if you need it.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. We're back. Let's talk about episode 12. The Pillar Man. Just one? For now. We open on Joseph riding through Mexico, which seems to be 30% cactus. Having lived near Mexico most of my life, math checks out. But oh shit, it's Invisible Stan! That invisible piece of shit! This is... Okay, I'm gonna tell you... Jay, I think you know this. I'm gonna tell you the English name. He's Donobang. Ariel and Coco, do you know the reference?
Donobang.
Let me look this up really quick just to make sure.
I did not know.
He's a reference to 60s folk singer Donovan.
Wouldn't have even fucking.
Did you ever see the Futurama episode about Atlantis? Or the ancient lost city of Atlanta?
It's been a long time, so I don't remember.
For some reason,
I do remember that
exposition in that episode.
Okay.
But yeah. He's played by Ray Chase, who was Gendo Akari in the new Ava dub, and I'm listing all these now because he's a big character later, like just copy paste, or just Don Quixote Kuroshikante in One Piece, Shira in Naruto, Sharkhan in Maji, Duncan in Dark Dreams Don't Die, Nakura in Durarara, Hanzo in Hunter x Hunter, Warlord Lon in Voltron, Saw Kare and Rustle Elion in Iron Blooded Orphans, Pori Pori Prisoner in One Punch Man, Noctis in Final Fantasy 15. Yu Otosaka as Charlotte, Onigawara in One Punch Man, or not, God, Mob Psycho 100. Both one product.
It's okay, they both have ones, so you're fine.
They're by the same guy. But yeah. Alphonse, Roy, Gaius, Ferdinand, and Bramimond in Fire Emblem, Eve in Nier Automata, Zosh Kane in Fairy Tail, Dennis Jr. in Fortnite, Fyodor Dostoevsky in Bungo Stray Dogs, Roswell L. Mathers in ReZero, David Shield in My Hero, Mitsurugi in Soul Calibur 6, Katsumi in Baki, the Master of Masters in Kingdom Hearts, Gabriel in Malignant. Had to bring that one up for Coco.
Oh my god!
Yes, really.
Holy shit!
I really
Okay.
gotta get around to watching.
Let me tell you really quick. Okay, let me tell you really quick. Can I go on like a 45-minute diatribe about
Not that long, but go ahead.
Just real quick. Okay, so if you're going into that movie trying to take it seriously, don't.
Don't. Even I know that.
Because that movie is a very specific. It's an homage to a very specific genre of horror movies, and that's called giallo.
Yeah,
And
Jello.
if you don't know what a giallo is, it is an Italian whodunit, but it's horror, and it's all like Argento shit. So
And they also
James-
sometimes make no fucking sense.
yes, and also this movie, and I will say this, I will defend it to the grave. It was a one for me, one for them situation for James Wan, in that he did fucking Aquaman, he did fucking Fast and Furious movies, he did Saw. He's like, I'm gonna do one of these for them, and this movie is for me. This is my shit. This is his passion project, and he chose right. So it is the cheesiest fucking movie I've ever seen in my life, and it is so good.
Yeah, Gabriel in that is played by Ray Chase.
Beautiful.
Which is great is when James A. Janice did the kill count on Malignant, he got Ray Chase to reprise his role.
That's fucking cool.
awesome.
Which,
That's
by the way,
good
also, well, go listen to Dead Meat. Great
Yeah.
podcast.
Anyway, where was I? Keigo Izumida in Judgment, Marlin in Pokemon Masters, Latigo in Indivisible, Tengen Uzui in Demon Slayer, the Craftsman in Death Stranding, Saburo Sabnok in Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun, Nail Villette in Genshin Impact, Ryomen Sukuna in Jujutsu Kaisen, Almond Cookie in Cookie Run Kingdom, Bjorn in Vinland Saga, Weiss Steiner in Eden Zero, Guile in Street Fighter 6, and so goddamn many more. Dude's versatile.
I appreciate the versatility, but nothing is going to get over fucking Gabriel and Malignant.
I had
so.
a feeling. Well,
Number one role.
well, in Japanese, it's Kenichiro Matsuda, who was Clam in Camp Laszlo. God, I love
Beautiful.
this trivia. Damon Baird in Gears of War, Bloodman in Fairy Tail, Sam Gideon in Vanquish, Aqualad in Young Justice, Ryuji Sejima in Akima's Trip, Thor's in Vinland Saga, Bato in Ghost in the Shell, both Red and Green Hulk in various animated Marvel projects, Hoso Yamada in Charlotte, Kenpachi in Bleach, Zephiel and Lloyd in Fire Emblem, Gordon Agrippa in Black Clover, the Creepy Stalker from Mob Season 2, Wolfric in Pokemon Masters, Robbie in Age of Calamity, the Gestaltnir in Nier Replicant, the Bat Devil in Chainsaw Man, Bond in Spy Family, Roku Saigo in Tribe 9, and Terry Falls in Ace Attorney. He sounds like Dieter from Sprockets.
Interesting choice.
Do Germans have a specific smell? Like, it was a weird.
Yeah,
line
it's
to joke.
beer and sausage.
Sauerkraut.
Fair enough. I love the line in the sub. Here, have your shitty magic carpet back.
I
then-
thought.
Good.
I thought about that. Okay, so here's my problem with and I should have mentioned this probably from episode 1. They don't have subtitles for the dubs,
Blame that's Netflix. That's
so you have to deal with the 2 different lines of dialogue, one being spoken and it not matching up.
See, that's good
So-
for exactly one person.
So
Because I can.
So,
Go.
the problem I have is when he's saying something and then all of a sudden just underneath it says fucking shitty magic carpet. I'm like, what? That's
Yeah.
like, excuse me?
Yeah, it's good for one person, and that person is me because it lets me easily type, like, notice the differences in dialogue without having to watch it both times. But yeah, we get some nasty hits in this very short fight, including Joseph punching a cactus, and then Donabang taking a cactus bomb to the dome.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Because, yeah, cacti, being full 95% water, are great Hammond conductors. I do like the little moment of relief Joseph has that Speedwagon's alive with a little tear. That was nice.
Yeah. I forget, was this the episode where he said enjoy a hamon sandwich?
I think so. I think that's either this one or next one. Might be next one.
You were almost a hamon sandwich.
Yeah. I love the line from Speedwagon. Don't get too cozy, you pompous prick. Gee, I wonder if the Nazis' defense system was going to fail. Oh, look, the statue heard you. And now the Pillar Man is awake. They dub him San Viento. Does anyone know what it is in the sub?
I don't know what it is in this.
I actually do know this one because you told me.
Coco, do you know?
In the sub, I don't.
Santana.
Okay.
So he probably has some good guitar licks.
Eli Colifers, he told you.
Give me a make it real, all this forget about it.
But no, I was about to say, before you bring up Oya Como Va, that's a later character.
God damn it.
So, this is the first of the Pillar Man, San Viento, played by Kaiji Tang, who I know y'all have heard, especially you, Jay, because he was Yasuhiro Hagakure in Danganronpa. You remember Hiro?
Ah.
He's also going to Gokuhara in Danganronpa V3, Satoru Gojo in Jujutsu Kaisen. What was that, Ariel?
I said, oh, God.
Yeah. Gojo's great. But yeah, he's Gojo. Thrust and Strike in Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, Koen Ren in Maji, Samuku Kinagase in Kill la Kill, Faust in Guilty Gear, Eiichiro Shiraku in Durarara, Archer in Fate, Gaius Wurzel in Trials of Cold Steel, Owain, Shiro, Odin, Lloyd, and Narcian in Fire Emblem, Koala in Hunter x Hunter, Hajime Suji in Iron Blooded Orphans, Koichi Kizakura in Danganronpa 3, Armored Gorilla and Golden Ball in One Punch Man, Shimura, Reagan's Bartender, Mr. Koga, and Kijibayashi in Mob Psycho 100, Munehisa Iwai in Persona 5, you know, the weapons dealer,
Mm-hmm.
Detective Pikachu in the games, Junk Dog in Megalobox, Retsu Kaio in Baki, Nolan in Pokemon Masters, Momoko Makura in AI The Somnium Files, Sanemi Shizugawa in Demon Slayer, Bill in Beastars, Eustace in Grand Blue Fantasy, Hiromu Yaba in BNA, Stu in Monster Camp, Ichiban Kasuga in Yakuza, you know, the new protagonist,
Love that guy.
Osamu Takai in Bungo Stray Dungos, Atlee and Halfton in Vinland Saga, Ricky in River City Girls, Kanbei in Advanced Wars, Tom Knowles in Mashal, Yaku Furio in Raincode, Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat 1, and Jagi in the new Fist of the North Star. And here's my last voice note of the day. In Japanese, it's Kenji Nomura, who was the narrator for Hell's Paradise, Tolkien on South Park, Lex Luthor in Superman Animated, Tyrus in Trigun, Jack in One Piece, Yujiro Hanma in the 2001 Baki anime, Captain Quark in Ratchet & Clank,
Jesus Christ.
Delfino in Fullmetal Alchemist, Bloat the Pufferfish in Finding Nemo, Yami Ryalgo in Bleach, Windsor Gorilla in My Gym Partner's a Monkey. Want to see? Yeah, that's a fucking pull. Storm Albatross in Sonic, Ken in B-Movie, you know, the guy that gets cucked by Jerry Seinfeld B, Dimmock in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, Iron Tiger in Blaze Blue, The Missing Link in Monsters vs. Aliens, Hefty Smurf in the Smurfs movies, The Minotaur in Little Witch Academia, Akihiro Kano in Tokyo Ghoul, Topo, the dude with the giant mustache in Dragon Ball Super, Yukio Terada in Yakuza, Ricardo Welkin in ReZero, Bomb in Angry Birds, Reinhardt in Overwatch, the douche in Sausage Party,
Oh,
Atsushi Suedo in the new Baki, the Effector T-Cells in Cells at Work, Louis Mueller in The Great Pretender, Goro Aizawa in Tomo-chan as a girl, and Allure Andrew in Mashal, the one who turns into a shark. I love that he immediately trips because these dipshits flooded the room. Dude, he just woke up. Give him a minute. Like, Straw is like, do something! I just woke up. Oh shit, the Nazis have a ton of masks now, and yeah, the Pillar Man just straight up absorbs vampires into them for food. It's fucking freaky looking.
It's sort of like he's a human-shaped gelatinous cube.
And now, to continue a running gag, even Speedwagon is shitting himself. As long as you're still in that chamber, he can't hurt you. Oh, you fucking moron. Back with Joseph. He needs to find a way into this overtaken Mexican town. A reminder, Nazis are scum. Ariel. Ariel.
I'm already thinking about it!
Okay, so... Coco, Jay, what are y'all's thoughts on Tequila Joseph?
Tequila Joseph.
Because Ariel's gonna be laughing for a while. This is where Joseph goes full Bugs Bunny and dresses up as a woman to try and distract the guards.
Oh yeah, I forgot that there was a name for it.
Yeah.
This is. I got. You know what's weird? I got heavy Final Fantasy VII vibes.
Yeah,
from
I
this.
can see that. Coco, what did you think?
Like heavy.
I was
heavy
like, you know what? He seems confident in it, and he's rocking the look.
I agree.
I would say it was heavy. Heavy Final Fantasy VII meets Mrs. Doubtfire.
See, I just kept thinking when Bugs Bunny would dress up as a woman to trick Elmer Fudd.
Fair.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he rolled a nat 1 on his deception check, which sucks.
When Ariel first saw this, I was on call with her. No joke, she was laughing uncontrollably for at least 10 minutes. Hence why
I
even
was
bringing
so
it up
busy.
breaks her. It is her version of Super Toilet.
Okay, now I need to know what Super Toilet is.
It's from Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh, how did I not get that?
I don't know. So much clogging. Anyway. Yeah, thank you. Like, so much clogging. But yeah, like my note for this was just Tequila Joseph. Ariel? Question mark.
Ariel?
I'm just gonna let her have the floor. And like I debated if this was like problematic, and my consensus was it's the Bugs Bunny principle. It's not like malicious towards people cross-dressing. It's just like, oh yeah, he's tricking these guys because they're fucking morons and who deserve to get their asses beat.
It's just him doing the trope of, hey, I can be sexy too.
And in his defense, he can pull it the fuck off.
He really can. That's part of what made it so funny is that he does it so damn good.
Tequila
then they
Joseph
can-
is an unlockable skin in Eyes of Heaven or All-Star Battle.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Filip does point out the Nazis insulting him transphobically was pretty bad, but they immediately got what they deserved.
Exactly.
And
That was where it's like, the fuck you, and then just beamed him with the tequila.
in the dub, they go, ouchies! And in the sub, for some fucking reason, they go, oh, tacos.
Interesting choice.
I don't know, but yeah. Oh shit, Samvietto escaped. Who could have seen this coming?
Oh no.
He crawled into the vents.
Something a little sus.
I was waiting. My note for this was, to quote my buddy Carl, sus? Task? Vent?
I don't I don't know what the whole joke is. Oh, he crawled to the vent. There's nothing particularly special about it.
God damn it! God fucking damn it!
My fucking ears.
It worked. It worked. One good thing about where Samvietto was revived, it means Nazis get ripped to fucking shreds. Because yeah, he crawls into one of them. And crawling. He becomes a boomer from Left 4 Dead, only he won't pop. And they fire off several rounds worth of machine guns into him. And he makes a literal finger gun and it just shoots the back.
It was the way that he went into the body and everything. Sort of was like the thing and a xenomorph, chest burster combined together. The way it worked out.
He shot them like he was in Inuyashiki. That's a reference. Just
I've never seen it.
It's a reference just for me. It's very good. Nobody saw it. Anyway, you're kind of an idiot, Stroheim. The jaw falling off and he's still talking was pretty good. And once again, Joseph emulating Bugs Bunny. His German accent sounds French to me. The Hamon hair attack. I like that Joseph has so many creative ways to use Hamon. For example, using hair to make a barrier.
A harrier.
Eli says, Joe Joner of a lonely heart. That's the right phrase.
Beautiful.
So this was a much better episode than the previous one. It got back to Joseph kicking ass and had lots of fascists getting turned into chunky salsa. I love it.
Yeah.
Everything you want from a series, really.
Jay?
I would say it was definitely a solid change of pace again, like from the previous episode.
Yeah.
Which I very much would prefer.
Well, I think we're good to go on to episode 13. JoJo versus the Ultimate Life Form. It's JoJo versus Shadow in a steel cage.
Now I will
the exact
start.
same thing.
As a preface again, this is where I have not watched the episode.
Yes.
Because I did not know we were watching 4. I thought we were watching 3.
Obviously,
So
I'll give you the rundown. You can watch it when you watch the 3 for next time.
Okay, that's fair.
We open on Joseph staring down Sarmiento. What's gonna happen? Oh my god, Joseph booped the Ultimate Life Form snoot.
He booped the snoot!
Yeah, Jay, he goes up to him, pokes his, poops him on the nose and goes, tag!
Tag, you're it!
So not good. God, I love Joseph. In the dub, he starts going, there's a good smile for the camera. In the sub, the stuff about Sarmiento is equally silly. Joseph making up a nonsense phrase to try and get him to smile. Happy Yonepi Yonekukune, which basically translates to Happy Fumpy, nice to meet you, P. I do love Joseph's theory. He can't automatically be evil. Look, he killed a bunch of Nazis. Frankly, I agree with Joseph on that one. Joseph, don't prank the primordial naked man. Because he's like, I know it'll get him to smile. I'll trip him up with my foot. And he tries to do this, and his foot just or his ankle just, not his ankle, his fucking shin just fucking smacks against Sarmiento, and he's lucky he didn't lose it, because and then Sarmiento just starts taking apart a gun, which is meant to indicate that he's learning really fucking fast about humanity, because as both Ariel and the show points out, that shit's really hard.
It really is. It's one of the things that they teach you is in military is how to quickly take apart a gun and put it back together correctly.
Yeah, and the show was like, that took us hours to teach our soldiers. How are you learning this? Ariel knows this because she got a gun for her wedding.
You got a gun for your wedding?
Okay, here's the thing when it comes to that. It's actually part of a family tradition. The father of the bride gives the bride a gun. It's actually a gun that has been passed down in my family for a few generations.
Ariel, what state are you in? Okay.
Huh?
What state are you
I'm Tennessean. I'm a Tennessean.
Yeah, that explains it.
And the thing is, the gun came with silver bullets.
Is there a werewolf epidemic in Tennessee that I don't know of?
Over time, we will just tell all of Ariel's weird family stories. There's a lot of them.
You guys fighting cryptids over there? Is that what's going on?
I don't think you can tell the one where her dad taught their dogs slurs, but you know.
Okay.
All right. That's for another time.
Yeah, let's continue.
Actually, I do have a story about cryptids and werewolves.
All right.
This is every conversation I have with Ariel. We'll tell that story another time because we've been going for a while.
Okay, that's fair.
But yeah, oh god, the veins. Like, the veins moving in Sarmiento was fucking gross.
Yeah.
Really, anytime there's like pulsating veins, it's gross.
It's up there with I'm assuming you hated this as well. When Dio wrapped his finger around Jonathan's carotid.
Oh,
that was horrible.
What was that happened in that happened in fucking part 1, right? Like that. Yes, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that shit.
Fight in the castle.
Right.
Yeah. Rib stab.
Okay, the thing is, with the ribs, that reminded me of an animal, and I finally found it. It's the hairy frog, or the hairy toad.
It reminded me of the obscure X-Men character Marrow.
Marrow. Which one was that?
The one who could use their bones as weapons.
Is that the one from X-Men Evolution?
I don't know if they were in a movie, but...
No, the TV show, there was like a cartoon where it was like this kid who grew spikes out of his bones.
Well, Meryl was a woman, but yes. Look at this.
Okay.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Poor Speedwagon. Dude's going through so much. JoJo, get this man's fingers out of my brain! Joseph's pissed off now, and yes, Coco, here's where he says, one ham-on sandwich coming up! How did it take us this long to get to that?
It's just a ham sandwich.
It's ham on a sandwich.
What? Jamon. Jamon is ham in
yeah,
Spanish.
you're right.
Yeah.
So yeah, Samvian was really good at redirecting Hamon. And we're talking about Joseph's hand joke. He's like, oh, my hand! It's fine.
Yeah, the hand trick thing just made it was full cartoon.
He does the thing Jesus does in Family Guy. Da, 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 da. And then he actually goes, but seriously, folks. God, I love Joseph. Oh, so the Hamon's still dangerous for Zambiento. He's just got to stop Joseph using it before he can absorb him. That was a ballsy move, Joseph. You risk stabbing your own damn foot when he fucking sends the knife into Zambiento with his foot. But he spins it around first.
Oh yeah.
Oh, great. Now Zambiento's Luffy.
Yeah, that was the thing I was noticing too. He's like evil Luffy.
Evil Luffy be like, I hate meat! Stroheim, you suck. Just before Stroheim blows up the fucking base, Joseph got inside Zambiento to deliver a Hamon blast. His whole body is like one big digestive system. I feel like Ziff Frank could do a fun April Fool's episode on the Pillar Men. Or at least do a Creepy Dave segment. And then Joseph's solution? Kunai with chain! And then Stroheim said something that pissed me off. You can't let Zambiento escape into the outside world! You fucking moron! It's daytime! Can we talk about the grossest part in this set of episodes?
What part?
Meat
of it?
invade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leeches is disgusting.
Yeah. A human leech is all he was with all that just little.
Stroheim finally gets off his ass and does something, and because he sucks, he can't even open a fucking door without getting his leg hacked into. Joseph's hesitating. I'm just like, Joseph, you get to chop a Nazi's leg off with an axe. This is a literal dream for people. And I'm just when he's like, he's a despicable bastard, but he has guts. I'm just like, you do not, in fact, gotta hand it to him.
Yeah.
No, you gotta just chop off the leg to him.
There you go. So Stroheim finally gets the damn door open, and yeah. And Zambiento warps into Stroheim's leg hole.
Yeah, oh god, through the leg was
Into
all
a
like...
leg hole?
Oh, yeah. So, what happened was...
Well, so I know, again, I know that he can do weird shit like break down his bones in order to crawl through vents, and then he goes into someone's body and basically explodes them.
Yeah. He did it to Stroheim because he was dragging down Stroheim's leg because Stroheim was trying to open the door. And Stroheim's just like, Joseph, cut it off! And Joseph cuts it off. And so, fucking Zambiento worms his way into the leg hole.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty
Impressive.
It's pretty gross.
Has gone Verabschiedung. I had to look up bye-bye for German. And now he's gonna blow himself up. Hooray! Before he goes kablooey, Stroheim tells Joseph that there are more Pillar Men out there. That's probably not good. Oh well, time for this Aryan fuck to explode into tiny bits. Oh yeah, and also, Joseph's gonna go to Rome next. Meaning we get our first taste of Iraqi's love of Italy.
And this shows that the only good Nazi is a dead Nazi.
Preferably exploded. Unfortunately, that didn't kill Zambiento, so congrats, Stroheim, you suck even there. Zambiento tries to drive Joseph into the nearby well and hide in there for safety. Too bad for Zambiento, the well's water is reflective of the sunlight.
Huh.
At one point, good.
Oh, no, you go on.
It's high noon over this well. Wrong JoJo voice actor.
Yeah.
There goes Zambiento, and we end the episode with Joseph knowing he's got to head to Rome to train for the next fight.
Yeah, and with Satana's death, or whatever, Sabianto, Santana, however you want to... his death reminded me of Winifred Sanders' death in Hocus Pocus, whenever she is right there in the cemetery. Because which touching hollow ground slowly turns you into stone. That was how he was going for me.
Yeah. What do we think of this episode?
I really liked it. I like how the different parts have these sort of like mini arcs, or like kind of like in part 1, where at the end of the 3rd episode, like, oh, Dio Brando was defeated, but he'll be back later. It's sort of a similar deal with this.
Yeah.
Which also just speaks to how you split up the episodes for our viewing experience. So I just want to thank you for that.
Take massive care of that. Yes. Which is why we're doing 3 next time. Jay, what do you think?
I mean, this was the one I didn't watch, right? Or is it the...
I forgot. Yes. Ariel, what'd you think?
I enjoyed it for the most part because of how he just kept going Bugs Bunny throughout the entire shit. But the body horror thing was a bit much on me, but I really enjoyed all the Bugs Bunny shenanigans.
Zen and Phil, what did you think of these episodes?
Hello everyone, welcome back to our section of the podcast. My name is Filip, and I am once again joined by Zenith Warrior Princess. How are you going, Zen?
I'm doing good, but you're incredibly late, so you're fired.
Yeah, like always, I am fired. Like, hey guys, let's start a little bit of a counting game from now till the end of the podcast. Let's see how many times Zen fires me throughout this entire series. Spoiler alert, it's going to be a lot, so if you're planning to start a drinking game out of it, then please don't. You will, in fact, die.
No, do a drinking game.
No,
do a drinking game.
Zen, they're gonna die. They will actually fucking die. No, so, but yes, today we are starting a new part of JoJo that you have no doubt seen, just how it's begun, thanks to Rosen and the gang. But today we are talking about the first 4 episodes of Battle Tendency, and I'm really looking forward to this one because, unlike Phantom Blood, where prior to our rewatch of it and us discussing all 9 episodes of Phantom Blood, fun fact, I have never watched Battle Tendency or any part of JoJo past the first part. Wait, I'm a nerd because I haven't seen JoJo.
Exactly, you're a nerd.
That sounds
very much a nerd.
That sounds like it's backwards, you fucking nerd.
You need to watch JoJo. What I was saying, you know.
But yeah, so I have not seen anything past Phantom Blood, so this experience with Battle Tendency is going to be completely new to me. Well, okay, I say completely new to me. There are things I obviously know about every part of JoJo. I think that I have been spoiled on more than a few things, not just regarding Battle Tendency, but every single part, because of cultural osmosis and like memes floating around, I know a lot of what happens in these parts. Luckily, I would say that as far as like the end game is concerned, there's only really one part where I really know a lot of the spoilers, but luckily, as far as most parts of JoJo are concerned, there's a lot that I don't know going into these. So, and Battle Tendency, I think I'm pretty good. There are definitely a lot of memes from this part that I have knowledge of. In fact, some memes that happen in this set of episodes, but we'll get to that when we get to them. Zen, what about your experience with Battle Tendency?
Well, the thing is, much like Phantom Blood, I read this like in the manga right after it, but I haven't watched the anime. The intriguing thing, though, is that I only remember, like, the base parts. Like, I know about the Pillar Men. You know, I know who they have to face. I completely forget, like, how they do it. I completely forget, like, a lot of the stuff that led up to it. Mm-hmm. So, unlike Phantom Blood, which I think I've watched 3 times now.
Yeah.
Trying to get into it.
Same.
This is technically a first time, because while I read it, I know who Joseph is. I know who Caesar is. Like, there are just certain things that I will be surprised by. And that's why, like, I was telling Phil, like, Phil wants to record this, like, every week, and I'm just like, look, I need to have the knowledge in my brain because this is new.
We need to get a backlog up. Like by the time, okay, like here's the thing. By the time that you, the viewer listening to this at home, are seeing this right now, we will likely have recorded all of Battle Tendency, and that's because I am tired of making everyone wait 3 months in between recordings, or like in between uploads, I should say. So I'm just like, screw this. Let's record all of like up to the end of Battle Tendency and then start releasing these, because I want people to have consistent monthly uploads of this podcast. I don't want to have people wait so damn long in between everything, especially when we have so much on our plates. That's why I was so picky about it.
There's so much JoJo though, and there's so much to remember.
At the very least, look, at the very least, recording-wise, we are going to take a break between Battle Tendency and Stardust Crusaders, and then as we go through these backlog of recordings and like upload them bit by bit, as we near the end of them, then we're going to start recording Stardust Crusaders and creating a backlog of that. But that's for later on. That's for part 3. We're talking about part 2 right now. So with that said, let's just jump right into the episodes. General thoughts going into it, just like, you know, broadly before we start getting into the nitty-gritty of things. I have heard from countless people ahead of time before jumping into this that part 2 is widely considered to be like one of people's like generally most favored parts in all of JoJo. Like, it just, you know, top to bottom, like taking all parts into consideration, I just see non-stop love for Battle Tendency, especially when you directly compare it to part 1, and a lot of it does want to be compared, so I think that a comparison is definitely warranted. And I think that, like, you know, when looking at it as a comparison to part 1 especially, you go from part 1 and directly into part 2, and it just seems like a massive improvement in a lot of ways. And watching it for myself for the first time now, like, you know, you no doubt heard, if you listen to the first three episodes of this podcast, you would have heard, like, Zen and I, like, list a whole laundry list of things that we didn't like about part 1, even though we did greatly enjoy ourselves. But at the end of the day, we still had a lot of things that, you know, at the end of the day, we just didn't, like, find a lot of enjoyment out of, because it was a manga from the 80s, and, like, you know, it's a product of its time. And so, jumping into part 2, like, it is so just staggering, like, just how much of an improvement this is, where I only have, like, maybe 1 or 2 complaints, but otherwise, this is a fantastic start to Battle Tendency so far. Zed, what are your thoughts?
I definitely agree to a point. I feel like this is definitely paced a lot better. It's not as rushed, I would say. It still has the JoJo problem of, and then this happened, and then this happened, and it's a lot of it. I think Rosen described it best. It's like 2 kids at the playground, and, you know, I do this, and then you do this, and then I do this, and you do this, and to an extent, it's not entirely true. But, like, when you get to the battles, well, the battles are a lot better. I feel like the battles are kind of struggle for this, because, like, there are certain points where I'm just like, wait, where did he get the Tommy gun from? Did he pull it out of his ass?
Wait. I'm sorry. Having a gun in America? No. But, like, no.
Yeah, but we saw his back. Where did he keep it?
Fair enough, but also, like, I feel like this is... I'm gonna get into this, but, like, I honestly feel like... And I could be very much proven wrong. We have, like, 6 other parts beyond this to talk about, 7 if we end up talking about part 9 eventually, but you know, we have a lot to get through, so maybe I could be proven wrong. I have a feeling that this is gonna be like a sneaky entry for, like, most bizarre part. Like, I don't think it will be the most bizarre part, just for the record. I think that there are definitely going to be other parts that trump it, but, like, I feel like for how little this part has to go off of, because we haven't introduced stands yet. Because the thing is, stands in and themselves are, like, they're a perfect platform to be bizarre and be creative, because, you know, you could, they're these, like, mythical, I don't know, mythical, but, like, you know, basically just, like, these, like, things that you could do so much with, because like they're companions to like the main character, so you could just do so much with like any singular stand. Whereas this part, because it doesn't have stands, it's still operating off of Hamon. Because of that, there is so much that you basically have to get around in order to like remain bizarre, while still, like keeping it a little more grounded. And I think some of the shit that we see in part 2 is so batshit, at least with what we've seen so far, and yet it's still all operating off of this boring Hamon system from part 1. And I think the way they utilize Hamon in just these 4 episodes is really creative. It's definitely not, it's still not a sustainable system for like, a long series like JoJo, but I feel like the way they utilize it here is so much better as a result of just the utilization in which they use it. And I know you said that you have some problems when we get to the battles. I'll be real, I actually really enjoyed the battles here. Like they aren't amazing, but like they are a real step up from like what we got from part 1. And I really love the way in which they play on our knowledge of Hamon and how it bends them essentially. I'm
going to clarify a little bit. Like, I'm not saying the battles are bad. I definitely think the battles are better. It just, they do still fall into the and then this happened mentality sometimes. And I like it. I think it's definitely an improvement, and I think it's due to the main character that we're going to talk about in a bit. The execution is what sells it, but what gets me is at the base, it's still the same thing of, okay, so you do this with your sword, I'm going to do this with Hamon.
Well, I feel like that's generally going to be the, I don't know, I feel like that's generally going to be the flow for a lot of the fights in all of JoJo, just from what I've seen from other parts. I feel like that's that general...
Granted, I haven't seen much JoJo. Like, for me, what I like as things go on is more, they showcase the power set, and then the fight happens as time goes on. Not in these first 4 episodes. I'm talking more later.
Gotcha, okay.
Now, granted, they do it a bit with Santana, but we're going to get into that as we go.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want to just take a second to, like, just note off how wonderfully Battle Tendency starts. Like, yeah, it is a magnificent opening because, like, just with the first episode in and of itself, like, just reading what I have in my notes here, like, it keeps things simultaneously familiar while changing up the status quo big time. We get the return of characters like Speedwagon and Arena and Straightso and, and like elements like the Stone Mask, but they contrast them, like they contrast the old fable-like nature of the era that they all came from with this new cocky punk-like attitude of the 1930s, and with our new lead in Joseph. And it, and Joseph has the same kind of kindness that Jonathan has, but he doesn't wear it on his sleeve like Jonathan, and instead, like, he and Smokey and just everyone in the time period in of itself, they all showcase, just how low they're all willing to dip just to achieve whatever their goal is. Like, even with Joseph, like, he pulls out a fucking gun to shoot a man unprovoked. He just sees the guy and he's like, okay, I'm gonna shoot you now. And yeah, I really love the way in which it contrasts everything, because it takes the elements that we already know while all going like, this ain't your grandpa's JoJo, but not in a way that feels condescending to the old, but more in a way to where the old has served its purpose and it will remain within us, because, that kindness and like the compassion that Jonathan held, it's something that is going to remain through Joseph and throughout, I'm sure, the other characters who we see going forward into the series who we haven't gotten to yet. But, that first part remains fable-like because of how far back it goes in history, in the 1800s. Whereas now, as we get older, times must change, and the world of the 1930s just ain't as pretty as the one that we may have seen on the surface of 1880, of the 1880s. So basically, I love how instantly it's like, okay, we're going to keep the morals of part 1, but we're not going to wear them on our sleeves. Things are allowed to be grittier and are allowed to be more punk. And I really love how they show that instantly in the way in which we present Smokey and Joseph, while also then showing Joseph's kinder side when he stands up to Smokey, both when they first meet and at the restaurant.
Yeah, like, I think Joseph is probably one of my favorite JoJos. I mean, granted, I've only seen two in action.
Yeah, we've only seen 2 so far, yeah.
But, like, the thing that I really like about Joseph is that, like, he is kind of this punk. He's quick to anger, but he does it a lot for noble reasons. Like, you were attacking my friend. Like, even though he doesn't know the guy, and he pickpocketed as well, it's like, you're attacking my friend, what are you doing? And I love the way they draw the cops as, like, really piggish. I love that. Really on the nose of Rocky.
You gotta respect any story that's willing to just show cops in, like, the worst light imaginable.
So instantly I fell in love with JoJo. I think the punk with a heart of gold aesthetic really fits for this, especially as we keep seeing flashbacks and he's like, he tries to keep a cool demeanor. He doesn't like to showcase his noble sentiment because of the time he lives in, but he still has, like, he's still sticking up for people, and if something happens, he's gonna kick their ass. And, like, you know, if you do anything, I'm just gonna shoot this cola bottle at you, and you're gonna lose a finger. And I love that, like, he just does stuff that are really cool.
And I love how just from that first bit, just from him flicking the soda cap, like, just from him flipping the cap off of the Coca-Cola bottle. First of all, I love how it's just Coca-Cola. It's not like Coco Colo or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's actually done in an anime or something. But basically, like, it's just Coca-Cola, and he flicks the cap off with Hamon, and I love it, not just because it's ridiculous and stupid how he just flings it and it immediately breaks the guy's finger, but also because it sets up just how Hamon is used throughout the part, at least from what we've seen so far, in the sense of, in part 1, what didn't help with Hamon is, like, you know, not only is it a pretty basic, boring system of, like, you know, just, you know, oh, it relies on breathing and you channel it through your body and, like, through other living elements. And it's like, you know, not only is it kind of basic, but also they constantly, or something I didn't really think about until, like, I was watching this, is that they constantly halt fights again and again to just show, like, oh, this is them explaining what's happening here. It's like, oh my god, he's channeling the Hamon through the ground and through the other guy, and it's like, you know, they're constantly explaining it in that way. Whereas here, not only is the utilization of Hamon more creative, but they just do it. You know, we know what Hamon is. They don't have to constantly just explain the move that they are doing to us right away. They just do it. It's like, we know that, okay, Hamon is, you know, this ability that can be achieved through the character's breathing and channeling into other objects. So instead of just explaining that, they show, oh my god, Joseph was right next to this cactus and he channeled it through the cactus and exploded the spikes onto this Nazi's face. And
and that's one thing that I will give. Like, it's definitely a much better thing, and especially, I think what it does well here is that it showcases more the type of Hamon is based on his emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of, like, explaining it and, like, being calm, he's just like, I'm gonna hold these colas, and they're gonna shoot at you because I'm mad at you. And it's like the type of Hamon, he's only doing it when he's pissed, and it's a little bit different there. But he has that breathing when he gets angry. So it's like, I think the fights have improved in that regard, in that, like, they're not stopping, they're not explaining. It's just there are certain points where, like, look, I love Joseph. Like, his thing of predicting his opponent's moveset, really well showcased here. Except for the Tommy gun. and we're gonna get to that. But
I don't know. I love the Tommy gun. I love how everyone's just like, oh my god, that guy's got a gun! And he's just like, look, I'll go to jail if it turns out that this person's just an innocent person, but like, they're not innocent. They're a fucking vampire. And then he gets up and he's like, yep, see, he's a vampire. And I think my favorite utilization of Harmon in this set of episodes, because you have the getting the hair and using him as spikes and stuff like that, and like reflecting the bullets. But I think my favorite utilization is in episode 2 when he's fighting Straight-So, and he just gets a goddamn shot glass and like channels Harmon through it, and like his Straight-So's beam goes straight through the shot, like it loops around in the shot glass and comes directly back into him. I love that. I think that is so stupid that it's amazing. And yeah, Harmon's still not like this amazing, ability. It's still very, simplistic, and I'm glad that we get stands starting from part 3, but I do think that the way they utilize it in part 2 so far has been as creative as you can possibly be with the ability, and I think that it's more snappy now that they're not literally explaining every little piece of detail about it.
So I can definitely agree with that. Personally, though, I think it's because Joseph is the main character. Let's be honest. I like Jonathan, but he was a very straightforward brawler. You could tell his fighting style from the beginning. He punched things. But here, Joseph is tricky. He predicts people's moveset, and it's like, okay, like, I saw that you did that, so you kind of use... I know that my father was killed, or not his father, his grandfather was killed with the I-beams, so I'm going to use a mirror. And then next time, okay, he aimed for that spot. Well, I'm going to use a shot glass and redirect it. And I'm like, that makes sense. He's cleverly using the power set because of that. And I did want to talk a little bit about his predictive ability. I like how they introduce it. Because the first part is like, there's this mafia goon that comes up and he's just like bad-mouthing Smokey. And so Joseph is just like, all right, so let me guess. Your knuckles are in your back pocket. Next, you'll say, how did you know that? And that's the thing, is like he observes his opponents and he sees like little things, and it's just like, okay, I'm gonna outmaneuver them like a chess match, being smart instead of a brute force attacker. That's why I like Joseph more than Jonathan, because it makes the fights a lot more interesting. Do they still have a little bit of elements of like, he pulled the gun out of his ass? Where he keep it? Like, some things like that. But for the most part, it is a lot of interesting things where I can see the line of logic. Yeah. And while it is still sometimes like, well, I got a Tommy gun. It's like, I believe you, but my Tommy gun don't. Like, while it is still stuff like that, I feel like it is an improvement because of the main character.
Yeah, and I definitely agree. I think that the way in which they showcase Joseph's difference in fighting ability is really good. I love the fight he has with the Pillarman. I forget his name, but
his name is Santana. They in the dub, in the sub, because
I forget because Santana's definitely not the name that they go with in the dub.
They call him San Viento, which is the Mexican winds. But like the thing is, they're avoiding copyright, so it's Carlos Santana that they're fighting.
Yeah, and the fight he has against them is really fun, I think, because the thing about the Pillarman is that like he couldn't be brute forced against. Like, you can't just use Harmon in the way that you've been using so far, and just completely just like barrage him with a ton of like Harmon like energy. You have to be more creative about it, because he can just bend his body, like contort his body into any shape he desired, and he can very easily reflect the Harmon, because like he can turn his body into like a rubber-like substance. So I love that fight, because it has to like it really showcases Joseph's ability to observe his opponent, just like the Pillarman was observing everyone around him, in the sense of, okay, I can't just brute force this guy. What am I able to do here? And so he allows the Pillarman to absorb him in order to, you know, in order to like get the Harmon inside him and you know, attack him from the inside. I really love that. And it's, you know, it makes that fight interesting, and I think that it is probably the best fight in the series so far, except for maybe the clash against Dio, but I'll have to weigh everything up by the end.
Yeah, the fight is great, especially because, like, one of the things that I really love about the fight against Santana itself is that he starts off playing around, like, he's like, Tag, you're it. Like, he's feeling him out, and he's just like, well, I don't know if he's a bad guy. You're a Nazi. So, like, you know, you're conducting evil experiments if he's not a bad guy, like, you know. And then he kind of, like, feels him out as he goes along, like, okay, he did this, he can absorb. So he's constantly thinking and maneuvering as he goes. So I think that's what Joseph's real strength is. Joseph really carries it. Santana, the fight with Santana is amazing. I kind of wish it had started with the Nazis finding Santana, but I'll get to that in a moment, because honestly, the major problem I have is with Straizo. And I forget if they explain this reason later. They probably will. But, like, my biggest problem with Straizo is that during the fight with Dio, there was no indication that he idolized Dio.
Yeah, I consider that more of a problem with part 1 than part 2. Because I think that, again, Straizo is such a nothing character in part 1, because we had to introduce both him and freaking what's his name? We talked at length about how he shouldn't exist in the last part, and now I completely forgot his name. Fucking Thundercross split attack guy.
You mean Dire?
Yeah, Dire.
Like Dire Straits.
Yeah, like we talked about Dire and how he shouldn't exist, and here's another reason. It's because his role, except for dying, which he shouldn't have died in the first place, like, you know, there's no point to having a death there. It's like, it only serves to push Straizo to the side, because there's like why introduce two characters who are friends with Zeppeli? Because it's like,
it's just out of nowhere, and this part does a great job with showcasing that. Like, okay, Speedwagon calls Straizo because he found this Pillar Man in a room full of masks, and he's just like, we have to stop this. Amon's the only way to stop this. That makes sense. And I like the way Dire is just like, he looks at it and he's just like, I'm not entirely sure. Is Joseph like able to stop me? Blah, blah, blah. I feel like he's planning something. I feel like there's an alternative reason. I can't remember for certain if there is, but I feel like he had an alternative reason to get him to fight the Pillar Man. Now, granted, I do believe that he did want to die looking young. And to an extent, I do buy the fact that, you know, Haman can only stop the aging for so long, and he was looking a little bit older. So, that I get. It just, I feel like it's a bit of a heel turn to him saying, oh, I idolize Dio. That's the part I don't get.
I can understand that. I'm a little more okay with it, just because while we didn't get any indication in part 1 that he was thinking that, the thing is, we didn't really get much of anything from the man in part 1 is my problem. So it's like, if you tell me like, oh, he was secretly idolizing Dio from afar, it's like, okay, I believe you. Because it's like, there was so little to him as a character already that I don't really care how you warp him, because just adding any dimension to him as a character from to begin with, I think is good. And I think that, like, I had a note about this where basically it instantly adds a lot of intrigue and makes up for the fact that he's a non-character in part 1, and his motivations may be fairly simple in him, you know, idolizing Dio and like wanting to pursue eternal life just because he had a fear of dying. But it serves to get the ball rolling on several threads hanging off the back of part 1 related to, like, you know, a lot of part 1 related plot points, essentially. And, you know, it's...
I can definitely see that. Ultimately, this is a minor thing. Like, I want to say this right now. Battle tendency, 1 to 4, so much better.
Yeah.
I have a lot less things to complain about. And a lot of these are nitpicks, just stuff that I noticed. But I feel like having Straitzo as a starting villain works really well because, like, okay, you killed Speedwagon. That's a great start. Like, oh my god, we have to avenge Speedwagon. I was out of my seat. I'm like, nah, he dead. While I find the Tommy gun being pulled out of his ass pull, at the same time, it's so amazing because it's like, I see your fangs. You don't have breath.
Yeah,
you must be the guy who killed Speedwagon. Yeah.
And I just
you better pray you're a human.
I just like it because the as a first like vampire for Joseph to like take down to set up everything else. I like it because it has that connection to part 1, and you're able to, you know, piggyback like, you know, Straitzo turning heel onto other things like, oh, you know, Speedwagon's apparently dead. Like, is he dead? Like, what happened to him? And you know, you also go into, you know, why, like, okay, so now you ask, why are there several stone masks now when there was just the one before? You know, who's this strange killer man that's accompanying them? And, you know, it adds to this feeling of the part being familiar but new, as it takes elements from the previous part to forge new questions and stories. And that's what I like. It kind of makes up for Straitzo being, like, just nothing in part 1, because they use him so effectively to connect and branch into what this part is going to do, which I really like.
It does show Araki's strengths as a writer, because it's like, this could have just been an entirely different thing, but bringing back the characters, and it feels like a continuation just years later. And, okay, it starts off with a vampire, and they're like, oh no, there's something worse than me. You beat me, but there's worse things out there. And the Germans have found this Pillar Man, and they sacrifice blood to it, and it wakes up, and it's like, oh my god, his body's like rubber, he's even stronger than a vampire, and even a glancing blow is near fatal. Like, it just... the way it ups that stakes, I think, is really great, because especially they create a couple vampires, and they're like, okay, let's see how he faces against them, and they realize that the Pillar Men are mortal enemies against vampires because they consume vampires. They create people to become stronger so they can consume the vampires. And I'm like, that's cool.
And I do like how much the Pillarman basically punks out the Nazis, where he's like, yeah, actually, I wasn't just aping your movement. I was observing everything you were doing because you guys are the primitives, not me.
I was just taking a look and seeing if you had come far in your development, and you haven't, so I'm just gonna make you think I'm not intelligent. And then he just like, oh, there's some, this part has a lot of horror elements where, like, he goes inside the Nazi and blows him up, and, like, he cuts off goes inside the Nazi's leg, and, like, he doesn't feel the pain. It's just, like, there's some really horrific stuff to that, and, like, oh god, we gotta stop it.
I think that the only other point I really have to address with these first 4 episodes, which otherwise I thought were amazing. I thought, like, genuinely, these 4 episodes in and themselves are head and above, like they are so much better than most of part 1. Like, and I like part 1.
Yeah,
especially,
I will definitely agree.
Especially on this rewatch, I liked part 1 much more than I did on my previous 2 viewings, but it is messy. It has a lot of bumpy parts, and it doesn't always come together all that well, but when it does, it's really damn good. And I definitely think the first 3 episodes and the last episode are very indicative of that. But these 4 episodes are just way more consistent and are fantastic. I will say the one note I kind of wanted to address are Stroheim and the Nazis in general. So,
ooh, yeah.
But
before we get into that, just one minor point to add on to your point. I think what strengthens this 4 episodes is I feel like there's a stronger through line of things happening. well, I don't necessarily agree with Straizo's turn. It's not just this happens and this happens, it's, alright, we stop him, but now this guy's awakening, so we gotta stop this guy. Like, there's stuff happening, and even the part in the desert, the assassin that's trying to take out Joseph is a part of the German army. They want Joseph because he's the one who knows about the Pillar Men. Or, well, he knew about the Mask and Dio. So it's like they have good intelligence. They're going to get him. There's a through line to stuff that's happening.
Yeah. As for the Nazis, I will say there are a lot of funny moments in this episode, like where we get Tequila Joseph, which is obviously something that I knew beforehand. It was that and the Joseph running away meme.
Nigerundayo.
Yeah, like I love those two, and like I of course knew those two from memes beforehand, prior to watching Battle Tendency. So it was just watching those. It's gonna be watching memes like that pop up like from now to the end is gonna be great, just because like, you know, of me knowing them ahead of time. But yeah, so we had a lot of funny moments like that. Also, I did note a Nazi called Donovan, huh? It's like, I would say that that's an Indiana Jones reference, except the manga chapter, or the manga chapters that that segment was based on, came out a whole year before Last Crusade came out. So yeah, it's very much a coincidence that the two of them just happen to have a Nazi called Donovan in them.
I'm gonna say it's the same guy before he met Indiana Jones. We'll talk more about this on the Indiana Jones podcast in the stream. But it's just like, there's just something there where I'm just like, they feel kind of like the same character.
Well, one of them is German and one of them isn't, so I don't know. But yeah, it's just funny because we're watching, at the time we're recording this is around the time that we're prepping to do our Backslog episode on the Indiana Jones films. And it's just funny how at the same time we're doing that, we're getting into the JoJo part that has constantly been referred to as the Indiana Jones JoJo part, which I find really funny. But yeah, so the thing with Stroheim and Rosen's, like, I already know everything that Rosen's gone into in this very episode about Stroheim and such, and like the kind of character that he is, and like, you know, why he's there, and like, you know, him helping Joseph, you know, going forward and such. The thing about it is that from the get-go, Stroheim is introduced as, like, an inherently, like, evil character. Like, just an absolute bastard. He's making these women, you know, lick his wounds. He's, you know, he's experimenting on this Pillar Man. He's got Speedwagon in a straitjacket. He gets, like, a whole group of innocent people together, and he's like, which one of you's gonna die? And the little kid's like, oh, I will, you know, if you'll spare all these others. And he's like, I like your moxie, kid. I'm gonna save you and kill everyone else here. It's like, he is an inherently evil character. It's like, and so I get that Joseph, like, you know, or him helping Joseph is more of a case of there is a much bigger evil happening right here, and we need all the help we get, even if he is a bastard. But what I don't really like is that without much of a reason to care about him, they try to create this noble death around Stroheim in episode 4, and I'm like, I don't really care about you, man. You're kind of a bastard, and you're an enjoyable bastard, but you're still very much a bastard, and I don't really think that this is a very noble death, especially because the Pillar Man is like, the Pillar Man coming to life is your fault, and you have been an absolute idiot this entire time in regards to him. Or it's like, oh, you know, it's him that, like, you know, was it's him that created the stone masks, and who knows, maybe it is, I don't know, don't spoil that for me. But you know, and it's also, you know, he's just like a monkey. He's like, you know, he doesn't know, like, he doesn't have any intelligence, and he's just copying what we say and what we do. And it's like, dude, that is, like, it's not unfounded, but that is such a surface level examination of everything. And, you know, so, and obviously that serves well to characterize the Nazis, but it's also like, then we go against that characterization at the end of episode 4, where it's like, oh, we weren't just, examining the Pillarmen to use them. It's also, we want to know their weakness, because there's more of them. And I'm going to sacrifice myself now. And he has this noble sacrifice, and Joseph's like, no, Stroheim, don't do it. And it's like, I don't really buy into this. I'm like, yeah, I don't care about your death, man. I really don't fucking care about it.
There's a couple things that I can't talk about because we haven't gotten there yet. Here's my take as someone who has read all throughout and doesn't really remember everything, but the thing I like about it is they portray these Nazis as bastards. They inspect the women, they're very bad to them. That he gets cut shaving and he tortures this girl, and they're clearly evil people. And then they kind of contrast that against, Tequila Joseph. It's like, they don't find her pretty, which I'm like, come on, Tequila Joseph is hot.
Well, that's just because Joseph himself is hot as well.
But the biggest thing is when he infiltrates the place, the first thing he says is, I'm just here to get Speedwagon. You're a Nazi, screw you. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
And the only reason he starts caring is because he sacrifices his own leg to continue fighting against the Pillar Man. And that, to a certain extent, is awesome, even though it's a Nazi bastard. I agree, having him have a noble death is just, a lot. At the same time, I feel like it does give rise to the actions, because while the Germans were always searching for ways to win and one-up in a war, as we've seen in the Indiana Jones films, they were always just all right, we need to find a way to stop them just in case. And I feel like this is a good through line where he's just oh, why were we so worried? Oh crap. We need to find a weakness. Oh, they're weak to sunlight. Okay, well, Joseph, you gotta stop these other 3 guys. So, I get the reasoning. It's unfortunate that they had to turn this Nazi into a hero. Stroheim's a good character. He's actually the inspiration for Guile from Street Fighter.
Oh, I can definitely tell that. I can definitely tell that from his hair.
So, there are certain things that I do like that Araki did, but at the same time, it's really hard to say. From my perspective, Araki was in Japan, and Japan was during that period on that side. And it's unfortunately a part of this writing. Does that make it a bad thing? Yes. But it at least, Joseph isn't going along with their method. I feel like,
Yeah, and Joseph's not going along with it. And also, as Rosen had mentioned to me, and I'm pretty sure he mentions it in this episode as well, could be wrong, but the thing is that this takes place before World War II. Only just. It's 1938. So it's only just before World War II. But until World War II happened, unless you were in Europe, there were a lot of places that just didn't really look into or know about what the Nazis were doing, unfortunately, which is sad, but it is the truth. So, you can't suspend some disbelief to think okay, they don't like the Nazis, but they'll work with them because of this greater evil.
Yeah.
I just don't like how noble they portray them is my thing. Or at the very least, Stroheim. Not really the other Nazis, but yeah.
What I will say, knowing what's about to happen, though, while it is technically a noble death, it's not as bad as it could have been. We'll talk about it when we get there. And there at least is... It's a call to action for Joseph to go and fight the other Pillarmen. I don't like the noble death, but it's better than it we'll get to later.
Okay.
With that being said, though, I think all the stuff in the German camp, when they showed the Pillarmen, is oh my god, this guy's super evil. you can tell, like, oh crap, I don't like you, but we gotta destroy this thing. It's a monster. Like,
it's like the Pillman just like shows like just how much of an uncontrollable beast he is, and it's like, yeah, it's you very much
he
see
dislocated
why.
all of the bones in his body to go into an air vent, and then goes inside of them and just explodes them and eats them. It's like, yikes.
Yeah. But overall, man, like I just love this set of episodes. Again, like they might be the most consistent, best set of episodes in the entire like series so far, because they just really show how much of a blast Battle Tendency is going to be, and I can't wait to go through these next 4 sessions after this, because it is going to be an absolute trip. And like you can even just see it in how long we've been talking. Like I think this may be the longest. On this podcast so far, this might be the longest that Zen and I have talked about the episodes as a whole.
Because there's a lot more to talk about. These characters are great, and like
I'm
the fact that like,
I'm not looking forward to editing this, because I do know that the section for Rosen and the gang is also pretty long for this episode, so this is gonna be a long podcast when it ends up finishing. But
there's just a lot of stuff going on. I mean, like, you know, Speedwagon is killed and then he's brought back, and there's all this stuff. The last thing I do want to ask you about, because we know that we like this, we know that there's some small problems that we both have, but like it's a fun time. What do you think about the opening theme song for
I love it.
Battle Tendency?
I adore it. I love Bloody Stream so much. It is on par with Part 1's opening. I think that they are both so amazing for different reasons. I love how it has a lot of the same feel, in the sense of, you know, like Joseph and his friend, who we will get to next time. It's, you know, I love that they're fighting and such. You know, I love how it exudes a lot of the same kind of vibes as the first opening, but it's very different in the sense of the way it uses its colors and, like, you know, just painting over the 3D models with like the 2D the 2D art, and like I really love the way in which it portrays everything. There's so much you can go into like in every opening of JoJo, but like this I think is gonna like. And just a heads up, like
this is a classic opening in many ways.
Yeah, and I've watched all the JoJo openings, and even without like having like all the context involved, like, you know, I can just see like how amazing this opening is, and like, yeah, it stands together with the first opening. I don't know which one out of this and Sono Chino Sadame I like more, but like it may very well be Bloody Stream by the time I'm finished watching the thing, because that's also the thing. How my ranking is of the openings independent of the show, and then how it is after I've like watched the show itself and seen the opening episode for episode, I think my opinion just changes a lot of the time. So I'll have to see just how it is after everything is said and done. But like at the very least, they are on the same level, because it is a fantastic opening.
On my end, I'm a little bit different. I feel like the animation is so much better. I feel like the animation, especially when they're like doing the silhouettes, doing the fighting, it looks less like CGI video game models, and really, really good animation. The song took a while to get on my good side, because Sono Chino Sadame is a bop.
It really is.
But Bloody Stream, I feel like when it picks up in the middle, like it has a bit more, less dramatic flair for the opening, but when it kicks up and you see like Whamu like firing the things and the animation, is like the song really gets into it. So this is one that actually grew on me. I just feel like Sono Chino Sadame is a better song, if that makes sense.
I can slightly agree with that, because like the thing is they're both like 10 out of 10 amazing openings. But I can definitely see, the thing is, this is where the disadvantage of me having heard all the JoJo openings before comes into play, because like I hadn't heard the opening for this until like we started watching, so it's like a little bit weird. Yeah, so it's like, so I've had time to get accustomed to like every single JoJo song. But I do remember when I was first getting into the JoJo openings, that opening, like the opening for Battle Tendency didn't have the same punch for me as Sono Chino Sadame, but like it didn't take very long for me to grow accustomed to it as well. And so I just immediately grew into it, because like I think that the mix of the song and the visuals is just sublime. and I love listening to
it's
this.
a great opening. I definitely think it's a classic for a reason. A lot of people love it. There are just like certain parts where I'm just like, I like the first a little bit more, especially because, well, I really do love the silhouettes and the animation. I like that the first one actually took panels and scenes from the manga.
Well,
and I feel like
that I also think is that I also think is because like it's the first opening, and the thing is, no one, like, hardly anyone in the West knew about JoJo before the first opening. Even in Japan, although JoJo is so influential and like so important to like the manga and anime industry, it is also something that wasn't talked about as much in like the modern day, because like it was an old manga, and like it is something that was more old school and such, and so like it wasn't in the forefront. So that first opening had to basically sell people on JoJo from the get-go, and like be a
which makes sense.
Yeah,
like the walking up the wall with the fire, like you have to do that.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's like that's also why we get that first part of Sonochi no Sadame, where like you see like the going back through time, starting with Jolene, then Giorno, then Josuke, then Jotaro, Joseph, and then finally we get Jonathan like punching at the camera. It's like you get that history all throughout the opening, and like so you've got to show that right there in the opening, and it caught people's attention and it worked. I would argue that if not for the opening being as good as it is, like a lot of people probably wouldn't have gravitated to JoJo as much as they did, and so we have a lot to owe that opening, which may
especially because they tried to do Phantom Blood once before and it didn't work.
Yeah, to the point,
dub.
to the point where not just the dub, like I don't think there ever was a dub, because to the point where that Phantom Blood movie like doesn't exist anymore. It's lost media in general.
It's lost to media. Like somebody talked about like seeing it actually like at a convention once, but it's like literally lost media.
Yeah. But like, yeah, so like these things like could potentially put Sonochi no Sadame above Bloody Stream, but again, we're comparing like apples to oranges. It really just like depends on the exact things you prefer, because otherwise they're both 10 out of 10 openings.
They're both fantastic. I believe that they keep the same ending theme though.
Yeah.
Part 1 and Part 2 are technically this. Yeah, Roundabout is the same, but different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the visuals are different, which I didn't know about going in. I thought the visuals were mostly going to be the same, just replaced with Part 2 characters. But there are different visuals, like to a certain extent, with Roundabout in Part 2, which I really like. And I do like that they keep Roundabout because it's just a banging song. And while we do get some more banging songs,
Roundabout is amazing. Well, it's one. I'm glad that they got the license for a lot of these endings to actually be the songs.
Yeah, I was gonna say we are gonna get a lot of banging songs like going forward from here. But Roundabout for the first season is a really good touch to still have.
Even though we have San Viento instead of Santana, it's Carlos Santana. Damn it.
But with that said, I've already given my final piece. I've already given my final piece for these episodes. Is there anything else you want to say, Zen?
I mean, my overall thoughts is this is a great start. Even if you haven't seen Phantom Blood, I get why a lot of people got into it, because it is a fantastic start. Joseph is a great character. It reintroduces the scenery and characters really well. It gives Arina more to do, and she's more badass than she was before.
Yeah.
And it gives these characters more of a presence, and it's just like, okay, let's give more to it. Are there problems? Yes, I don't like him randomly shooting up the place simply because there's people still inside, and him say, oh, I'm gonna make out with this girl if you don't leave. Like, there's some things I don't like, but it's like drops in the bucket from how good this is as not only an adaptation but as a product.
Yeah.
Battle Tendency is just fun, and Joseph brings that fun, so I'm looking forward to more.
Same. I can't wait to watch the rest, and I can't wait to record the rest, because this was a really fun set of first few episodes. And also,
well, now that this is out of my mind, I can actually watch the next stuff, because we've talked about it.
also, I didn't really bring her up, but yeah, like, what's one way to make you care about Arina more? Make her like make her the kind but stern grandmother that we all have, if we're being real with ourselves.
She's a badass granny who is the only person that Joseph is afraid of. And she's just like, oh, why are you beating up this person? It's like, I'm hailing a cab. It's like, good. And then he's like, were you really, close to Speedwagon, if you get my drift? And she starts beating him.
Yeah, I love it. But with that being said, we'll carry it back on to Rosen and the rest to finish us out for this episode. And with that being said, I am Filip. She is, of course,
And
Zen.
I'm Zen.
That you are. And
I'm a bunny, and I'm just saying Tequila Joseph is hot.
Very much so. And we will catch you guys next time on another bizarre adventure. Take care, everyone.
All right, let's go to best and worst moment. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first because you guys know what my best moment is.
Yeah.
Hands.
Go ahead.
It has to be Tequila Joseph.
Yeah, duh.
It's a no-brainer for me.
And
I literally did. And worse, it has to be the. I'll just shove my tongue down your throat if you don't shut up. That part, that one threw me out for Joseph on that one, but everything else sucked me right back in.
Who wants to go next?
Okay, I'll make it easy. Worst one is exactly that.
Yep.
For me, it was shut up or I'll make out with you. That was not a good moment.
I ain't defending that shit.
And then best, I would say. Oh God. Best would probably be the. Oh shit! I just had it. Just for me at least, when the Pillar Man first kind of escapes and fucking kills everyone.
Okay.
My favorite part was any time that Joseph was being like a really like very cartoony character, so like the run away or like the smile for the camera thing when he was talking to the Pillar Man. He's just so much fun. And my least favorite part was when they tried humanizing the Nazi at the end. I'm like,
That you fair? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very fair one too.
And then he blew up like a bitch.
Yeah.
My best is Ariana's sanctioning Joseph to kick the racist ass. My worst is, of course, Joseph saying he calmed down the screaming woman with his tongue. That was fucked up. And that leads us to the Bizarro meter. How bizarre, at a scale of 1 to 9, was this set of episodes?
I think this is like a solid 7.
That's also what I was going to say, yes.
Yeah,
solid 7 because we're finally hitting we're hitting vampires, we're hitting unfortunately Nazis, and this we're hitting fucking basically anything that would make it weird.
I'd say
we're hitting all that.
7. Coco, what are you giving on the Bizarro meter?
Yeah, a 7. I mean, it's weird, but not particularly weirder than what we've already seen.
Ariel?
I agree as well. Like I said, it is basically Dusk Till Dawn meets Inglourious Bastards. It's weird, but it's just a Tarantino film.
All right. Well, next time we will be covering 3 episodes. I believe it's going to be 3. Hang on. It's going to be okay. There's going to be 3 episodes next time, and then the time after that is 4, and then 3 and 3. So next time it's going to be episodes. Hang on, let me get the names of the episodes here. It's going to be episode 14, Ultimate Warriors from Ancient Times. Don't fucking say it, Jay.
Okay.
Episode 15, A Hero's Proof, and episode 16, Lisa, Hamon Coach. We'll see you next time.
I'm sorry, what was that? Sorry, one more time, what was that?
Lisa, Hamon Coach.
What's her first name?
Lisa. I'm gonna fucking.
What's her last name?
Simpson.
And what is?
I'm doing
and
the
what is
raid
she?
now. I'll see y'all.
And what is she again?
I'll see y'all later.
Merge.